Hi.
Hi, I'm 20. I know I sound really young, but I was born in 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like me to investigate your worldview, or do you want to investigate mine? Why are you
Why
smiling?
are trans women women?
Yeah, because they're not adult female people.
But why do we have to assume that only adult human females can be women?
Yeah, because well, I think that animals that humans, have pretty close contact with, almost every single one of them has a name that combines their sex and their species, right? So, for example, a female chicken is going to be a hen. I can go on and on, but it seems like the word that we would prescribe that to. Sorry, it seems like the word we would prescribe to humans in virtue of this would just be woman, right?
No, those are not genders. A hen is not a gender. That's a nomenclature. That's not a gender. So you're confused.
Wait, you asked me why we
Woman
should
is
operate
going to
under
be
my definition. I just gave you a
woman.
small inductive argument for that. If yeah, hello,
But the
we
whole
weren't
point
talking
is,
about gender. You asked me why we should prescribe to that definition. I just give you one reason. I can give you more though if you
yeah.
wish.
But my point is that womanhood is not reduced down to just nomenclature, right? It's a gender. And
Okay,
that's
well, I
why
mean,
that's
first of
what makes
all,
you a woman. But that's what makes me a man.
okay,
It makes us a woman
well,
or man or a gender
well, that's
identity.
what's in contention, right? So you're just kind of like spouting claims and not like I'm yet to hear any substantiation of this, and I'm also yet to
Yeah.
hear an answer to
Do you
my
think like for
question.
example, do you think for example Superman's a man or a woman?
Yeah, I think he's a man.
Oh, but he's not an adult human male.
Well, yeah, I didn't say human isn't
Oh
in my
wow,
definition.
wow. So
What?
you don't
I
have to
said
be an adult human
person.
male
I
to
said
be a man.
person. I said person. People. Women are adult
Yeah, you
female
don't have to be
people.
an
I said
adult
people.
human to be a man. He's not a man. He's not a human.
Yes, he is still a person though, so he is a man. What? Holy shit! There's no way that you made
Okay,
that
so
blunder
you
this
agree
early into
that
the
you don't have to be
conversation.
human. You don't have to be an adult human male to be a man, correct?
When it comes to our species, yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Can
obviously that's
adult
true.
do
What?
adult human males have to be men
They're
to
adult
be
human
men?
males. Wait, are you asking me if like human is a necessary condition? Then no, just to be a person.
Right. Okay, great. So your definition of man is an adult person who's male.
Yes, an adult
Okay.
male
But
person.
how do you know that Superman's a male?
How do I know? Well, I can just make like a well, I can make like an assumption, and I'd be justified in that assumption, and I can give
Oh, well
you
then I can
motivation
assume
for
that
that.
okay, then I can assume that trans women are female.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're
Yeah,
correct in
so
that
trans women are women
basis.
under your view, right?
No, that doesn't follow.
Well,
That
but
again,
it
that was a
does.
major
It
blunder.
directly follows your
What I'm saying
logic
is
that
that
we can just assume
I'm
someone's sex.
justified, I'm justified in believing that Superman is a male, in virtue
And
of
I'm
the fact that
justified in believing that
humans are.
trans women are women because I just assumed they're female.
No, no, wait. So, okay, are you saying that in cases where trans women appear female, then you're justified in believing that they're women?
That's your argument.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's not the contention. The
Okay,
contention is
great.
whether or not you believing that is true.
Yeah, great. So
Yeah, like
then you can just say
you're
trans women
not
are women.
understanding it. Yeah, if you were understanding me, you probably wouldn't be laughing. That's fine. You can have that assumption. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that that assumption is correct, right?
Okay, great. So then you
So I
just
can
because
have
you
the
assume that
assumption,
he's
like
a
for
male doesn't
example,
make it
I can
true,
have
right? So why did you call him
so
a
I
man
can
if you
have the
didn't know his sex?
assumption. Well, I'm justified in believing that he's a male person, and I can give you motivation for
Okay,
that.
but if we did, okay, so if we were to discover that Superman was not a male, he would no longer be a man?
If he is the kind of entity to produce large gametes, then yes, he would not be a
He's
man.
not. He's not. He doesn't produce large gametes. So why did you call him a man?
Wait, he doesn't produce large gametes? Is he biologically organized to run the production of large gametes?
No, no. He's a
So
kryptonite.
wait,
He's not a
so
human.
he's yeah, they still have reproductive pathways. Hello, what?
Yeah, they don't have gametes.
He literally,
They
are you
don't
serious?
they
Superman
don't
literally had a
have
kid.
reproductive systems that are human, right? We don't
How
even
did
know
he
what's down
reproduce
there. We
without a
don't even know if
reproductive
they have one.
system?
In fact, he might not even have a sex.
He literally bared offspring. What?
That
He
doesn't mean you
literally,
have a
are you
sex.
serious?
Yeah, what
Oh
if
my god, you're actually confused. What do you think your sex is, Mike? What do you
yeah,
think your
what do you
sex
think?
is?
What if an alien has a different way of reproducing
Oh,
than
what?
just sex?
Holy, holy dodge. Holy dodge. That was a
And
major
just the way
dodge.
we
Can
do.
you engage in the question I asked you?
I
Yeah, can you
answered.
engage in the question I asked you?
Yeah, I
Wait, what was the
answered.
question? What was the question?
I answered your question.
Yeah, what was the
I
question?
forgot your question. It's been too
Oh,
long.
okay. So you answered the question that you can't remember. Okay, that's fine. Look, I'll repeat it for you. Hopefully, we get an answer. So, do you understand what sex is? Do you know what sex is?
Yeah,
Okay, what's sex?
reproductive system.
A reproductive system. Okay, and when you say reproductive, right, that's in regards to, um, bearing offspring, correct?
Yeah, typically.
Reproduce children. Okay, so if it's the case that Superman, had a child, then that would signal to me that he does have a reproductive system, right?
Oh,
Therefore,
what if
he wouldn't have a
no?
sex.
Wait a minute.
Now,
God has a child, but he didn't reproduce, right? So that's not always reproduction.
that's not always reproduction. Is that seriously the contention?
Yeah, you
That's
can
what you
stop
bring
with the
up?
philosophical
Okay,
lingo,
I'm
mumbo jumbo,
talking.
contention, right?
Wait,
Just
what
speak
philosophical
normally.
word did I use?
So
Yeah, what philosophical word did
you're
I
just using all
use?
these stupid words like contention. Like nobody cares about that. Just explain to me why
Wait, you don't
trans
think
men
that
are not
that's
women.
wait, you don't think
When,
that's
for
like a relevant
example,
word to be used in the
when for
in regards
example,
to a debate? Hello, what?
like for example, if
Sorry.
Superman, if we discovered that Superman has no sex, would he be? Would he still? Would he be? What gender would he be?
Yeah, he would be sex. Therefore, he wouldn't have a sex. He wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't have a gender.
He
That's
wouldn't have
it.
a gender, even though you'd call him a
Yep.
man.
Well,
This is just
no,
like
if
a
it was the
fucking
case that he
massive
was
reductio.
no, if it was the case that Superman truly was an entirely sexless entity, then yeah, he wouldn't have a gender, obviously.
Even though the world
That's not a
recognized him
reductio.
even though the world recognized him as a man,
Yeah, I
you
don't
would
care
still
about what
say
the world
he's not a
recognizes.
man.
The
That's
world
just a
recognized
massive
black people as being
reductio. This is just a
yeah,
ridiculous reductio.
you know at one point that the world recognized black people as being less than human. Why should I care what the world thinks?
I'm not saying that the majority makes the definition. I'm just saying
Okay, then what are you
the usage
saying?
of
That
the
it's
word
against the
man.
majority of
I'm
people's
pointing to the
intuitions?
fact that
Okay,
the
that's true
usage.
of my case.
I'm showing you the usage of the word man is not sex based, right? It's not just sex based.
You're showing me
This
that
is
so
why. Look, for
the
example, if tomorrow you woke up with no sex, you would still be a woman.
no, I wouldn't.
Oh my God. Yes,
If
you
I
would.
woke up,
Because what makes
dude,
you
if
a
I woke up
woman,
yesterday, if I woke up with no sex tomorrow, then I wouldn't be myself. Because
what makes you a
analytically, it's the
woman is
case that
not your
Lola
sex.
has a
Look,
sex.
I'm trying to show you
Yes, it
that
is. Why are you
what
trying to
makes,
mansplain what like a woman is to be, or what it means to be a woman?
because I'm trying to show you that you have a gender identity and you're
I
just
don't
not
have a
grasping
dude.
it.
I don't identify as a woman. I just simply am. I don't identify as
Okay,
a human. I just simply am.
so what if I were to call you a he and treat you like a man and
What does it mean to treat me like a man?
everybody expected you to
Wait,
be a
what does that
husband.
mean? What does it mean to treat me like a man?
I'm explaining it to you. We call you a he. We
Wait,
say
that's
that
what
you're
qualifies
supposed
as
to
a
be a
man?
husband.
Just merely like what society refers to you as? Through your pronouns?
Yeah, that's
That's what
one of
makes
the
you a man?
ways. That's one of the ways, right? So, what if society were to say that you're supposed to be a husband, you're supposed to be a leader, you're supposed
Wait,
to be
you think
called a
that's what constitutes
he?
as a man? A husband and a leader? Are you
Would that
serious?
make you feel a bit weird?
That's like really sexist, actually. I don't know why you would say that.
It's not
To be a
sexist.
man is to
It's
be a
not
leader.
sexist. I'm
You
just
just said
asking
that to
you a
be a man is to
question.
be a leader. You just said that to be a man
No,
is
I
to be a
didn't.
leader.
That's an
Obviously, that's
equivocation.
sexism.
No, that's an equivocation.
What do you think it means to be a woman? Or be treated as a
A woman is
woman?
a woman's a gender
Someone who's
identity.
submissive, someone who's nurturing?
That's a typicality, right? So we build an archetype
That's a
based on
typical.
female
Are you serious?
typicality.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Wait. What was
It's
the?
not.
Yeah. So wait. You start calling me a he/him and expect me to be a husband. I mean,
Yeah, those are gendered
I'd be pretty pissed
expectations.
about it because I'd have to get like a new wardrobe.
Exactly,
wants
you'd be
to fit
pissed, right?
in.
That's evidence that you have a gender
But yeah,
identity.
but like I wouldn't cry about it because I'm not mentally unwell.
Yeah, how do you know you wouldn't cry about it?
How do I know that I would? Yeah, because I
I think you
wouldn't
would.
be
I think you
upset.
would. I think it takes
No, I'd be pissed
a very
off. I'd
big
be
mental
pissed
toll on
off. I'd
you.
be pissed off that I'd be missing out on things that I could
Exactly,
only
you'd be
achieve through
pissed
my female
off.
body. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you'd
I
be
would be
pissed
deprived
off.
of things I
Okay.
can only achieve through my female body.
The point is, regardless of what's down there, you still have a gender identity. And,
No, I don't.
you know,
I don't identify as a woman. I just told you this.
yeah, you do identify as woman because, again, you have the inner sense that
No, I
you're a woman.
don't.
For
You
example,
don't.
if I were
Okay,
to
well, first
say
of all,
that you
you
were
don't
a
know that.
man, if I were
The
to
only
say
reason
you
I
were,
say I'm a woman is because
oh
I'm an
my
adult
God,
human female.
no, I can remove your sex from you, and you still would have the inner sense of you being a woman,
If you
right?
remove my sex from me, then I would no longer be Lola.
If I removed, if I removed your sex,
Mm-hmm.
you would still have the sense that
Mm-hmm.
you're a woman. You still want to be called a she. You still want to fulfill womanly roles, right? That's the
I've just
point.
told you that I wouldn't. No, what? I wouldn't care. Again, I told you I'd be upset
You
because I wouldn't be
wouldn't.
able to experience things
So
that are directly indexed to my female
okay, great.
body.
So
But other than
tomorrow
that, yeah,
morning, tomorrow morning you wake up as a man. You wake up as a male.
a male.
Everything else
Yeah.
stays the same, right? You'd be okay with being a husband?
Would I be okay with being a husband? What do you mean by that? Like I wouldn't have like any contention
Oh my
towards it? I
God, would you
mean,
be okay with fulfilling a husband role?
what does it mean to have a husband role?
Oh my gosh. Would
Look,
you
if
want
I
to be
wake up
a
as a male
husband?
tomorrow, like
Would
first
you
thing
want
I'm
to be
doing is
called
I'm
a
dorking
would
it
you
and then
want to
I'm
be
crying.
considered a
Like,
sir? Would you want to be considered a he?
would I
Wear
want to be?
suits?
Would I have a
Wear
desire for that? No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have a desire for that.
would you have the inner sense that you
The same
belong
way
as a
I don't
husband?
have a desire for people to
Oh
call
my
me
God,
ma'am.
why can't you empathize for a second, right?
Empathize with
Again,
who?
you don't know what empathy means.
Empathize with who? Who am I to empathize
What do you
with?
think empathy means?
I think empathy means to deeply resonate with somebody,
No, that's
in
not what
virtue
empathy
of
means.
something that
It
they're
means putting
experiencing or going through.
it means putting
Wait, is that
yourself
like
in
a
their
not a good
shoes.
definition?
It means putting yourself in their shoes.
Wait,
Now,
whose shoes am I supposed to be putting myself in?
someone who is a woman.
I am a
So
woman.
again, yeah, I'm showing you
Why
that
would I need to put on someone else? Wait, why would I need to put on somebody else's shoes for me
I'm
to empathize
showing
with
you
women? Like if I am a woman,
showing
like
you that tomorrow morning, if you woke up, right, with as a male, would you see yourself as somebody who is a husband or a wife?
well, neither because I'm not married. But
Again,
I mean, yeah. Look, if I
tomorrow
have like a
morning you
full
woke
set of,
up.
yeah. Look, tomorrow.
Let's do this again. Let's do this again, right?
Yeah.
If tomorrow you woke up as a male, would you have the inner sense that you belong being a husband or a wife?
That I belong to being a husband or a wife.
Yeah.
I have a full set of, I mean, maybe a wife in virtue of the fact that I've been raised in such a way, indexed to my female body.
There you go.
Like that's everything that I've ever
That's
desired. But
exactly
yeah, in
how
virtue of the fact
trans
that I'm
women
female, in virtue
feel.
of the fact
That's
that I'm
exactly what
female. Yeah, in virtue of the fact that I'm female.
trans women go through. Right? They
No,
have the
they're
inner sense that they
not indexed
belong
to
as
their female.
female.
That's
That's
not indexed to
exactly
their
what
female body.
trans woman means. They have the
They
inner
don't.
sense, regardless of their genitalia,
Female
regardless
isn't
of their
an
sex, that they
female isn't
belong
an inner sense.
in that
You said
female
earlier that
archetype. That's the
you said
whole
earlier that
point.
sex was a reproductive. Yeah, you said earlier that
Thank
sex was
you
a
for
reproductive.
demonstrating my point.
No, that didn't demonstrate your point. You're wildly confused. You said earlier that what sex says, it's your reproductive anatomy, right? Now, if and female is included in that. So when you say that somebody has the inner sense of female, that's some bullshit. How do you have the inner sense that you have a different or you belong to some sex group as an inner sense? That makes no sense. That's obviously a blunder.
Typical, right? We look at typicalities of females and we go, oh, this is how what females typically perform or typically
Okay, can you
behave
give
in
me
society.
examples of that? Can you give me examples of
Yeah,
that?
being a wife.
But you think that's something that's typical to being female?
Yeah.
When only one species out of thousands, or yeah, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them aren't a wife or can't be a wife? Are you serious? That's what you would
We're
index to
talking
being female?
about human females. Oh my god. Do I have to actually
Well,
explain that
maybe
to
you should have.
you?
Wait, no,
Oh
maybe
my
you should have just
god. It's we're
clarified
talking about
that.
humans. Okay, great.
Okay, well, maybe you should have clarified that. But, anyways, can you define a woman, please?
Gender identity.
Okay,
Gender identity.
is man a gender identity?
Yeah, but it aligns to male typical
Okay, can you just
male
then can you give
archetype.
me a definition of woman that distinguishes them, please?
One identity aligns to male archetype, the other aligns to female archetype.
Okay, what's the female archetype?
It's a cluster concept, various different traits,
Of what?
behavioral, social,
Yeah, give me
physical.
some examples of those traits.
Wanting to be called a she, her, wanting to be a wife,
Are these sufficient or
being yourself.
necessary?
What? I was talking when you were interrupting me. What?
Yeah, are these sufficient or necessary to be considered a woman?
There is no necessary trait. They're sufficient.
Okay, but it's a
They're not
necessary that
just.
you meet a specific threshold of these traits in order to be considered a woman?
Well, yeah, there's a sufficiency threshold. It can be parsed
Okay,
out.
but all,
It can be parsed out in multiple ways, but there's
yeah,
no
but are you
there's
saying
no
you're a
single
woman if and
necessary
only
trait.
okay, but are you saying you're a woman if and only if you meet or like a specific number of these traits that we typically associate with the female sex, and then the traits are sufficient?
Not necessarily a specific number. These traits would be weighed right differently, but
Okay, well, wait, so what's the threshold then? Is it an intuitive
it doesn't
threshold?
matter. You can say it's majority,
Well,
right?
it
You
does
can say
matter.
it's
Majority of.
no. You can
Okay, so
say it's
just wait.
majority. You can say it's prototypical, right? We can look at prototypical traits. We can look at weighed traits. There's all kinds of different ways to
Wait,
parse
so
it
is it
out.
the majority? Is it the majority?
Yeah, you can take a majority stance. You can take either. You can take. I give
Okay,
you three
that's fine.
alternatives. I give you three options.
Okay, so that's fine. So if I say the sentence, there's a man who has a majority of feminine traits, then I'm lying. Or what I'm saying is utter jargon, and it violates the law of
No, if
identity.
it's
Oh,
not that
wait,
they
why not?
have feminine traits, right? See, this is where you're confused. You'd have to align to these
Yeah,
traits. Your identity would have
that's
to
what you
align to
said.
them.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so if
No.
wait, what do you mean align to them?
Your identity has to align to those female typical traits. Then you're a woman.
Yeah, what does
Right?
that mean?
If it doesn't, you're not
Yeah,
a
what does that
woman.
mean? Yeah, what does it mean to align with them?
Yeah, it means you have the inner sense that you belong being a she, not a he.
Wait, so if I say the sentence that there's a man who is more comfortable and feels more aligned with being more feminine than masculine, you would say that that's like nonsensical, right?
No, you can be a feminine man, right? But again, that
Okay,
person would still be a
dude,
man because their
holy
whole
shit,
identity. Hold on, I'm explaining. You're just yapping. So that person would still be a man because their whole identity is man, even though they might have or
wait, so then it
align
just
to
comes down to
certain
self-ID
feminine traits.
then. So it just comes down to self-ID, correct?
What do you think self-ID is?
Yeah, just proclaiming your own gender identity.
No, that's not what self-ID. That's not what I mean then, right? So you're
Okay,
confused.
well, what do you
Again,
mean when you say self-identity? Well, that's how it's typically used, right?
I never fucking said self-ID. You did.
I never said that you did. What?
Great.
Holy
You
tracking
just
error?
said I
Hello?
said that, so you're being
No, I
disingenuous.
didn't. Holy tracking
So-
error number 2. Hello?
Okay, what I actually said was identity, not self-ID, right? And when I say identity, I'm not talking about a proclamation or a stance that I'm a woman, right? We're talking about a deep internal sense of who you are, and it's something innately, it's wired into your brain.
Yeah, I already stipulated. Okay, we have a man, or okay, so if I say the sentence that, there's a man and he feels more comfortable and more aligned with being feminine than being masculine, such that the majority of his traits are feminine, you would say that
You're
that's
still not tracking. It's not being feminine that makes you woman.
I've stipulated everything, every condition that you've given me, I've stipulated it perfectly.
No, you
It
didn't.
seems like you're just
right?
contradicting
'Cause,
yourself now.
Again,
Yes, I did.
having traits does not make you woman, right? I'm not saying having
Yeah,
feminine traits
I
makes you
stipulated
woman.
that they feel more comfortable and aligned with this.
It's not a feeling
And you're
either.
still
It's not
saying
feeling. It's not a feeling either.
okay, then what
It's
is
an
it then?
identity.
And you said feeling more aligned. Are you serious?
No, I never said feeling more. I said if they are aligned, if their identity is aligned to these things, then they are a woman.
Okay,
Right.
and by identity, all you mean is these traits.
No, I mean by
Right?
identity
Okay.
a deep internal sense of who you are.
Okay, what do you think a sense is, dude?
What?
What do you think a sense is?
A sentence?
No, what do you think a sense is? A
What is a
sense.
sense?
No,
It's an
holy
inner
shit, I
knowing.
got
It's
you.
just an inner
An
internal
inner
knowing.
knowing. Okay, an inner internal knowing. And what's that?
Yeah, just like for example, I have the inner knowing that I'm straight, right? That's something that's
I
persistent
didn't
throughout
ask
my
you for an
life.
example. I asked for the semantic
Oh my
breakdown of
god,
the
oh my
term.
gosh. Calm down, lady. Or should I say sir? Calm down, sir.
Do you think
Does
that's
that make you feel
intuitive?
good? Does that make you feel good? Okay.
Dude, I'm not like I'm
Sir,
not mentally
sir,
unwell. I
calm
don't
down,
care.
sir. So calm down, sir. Okay. So when I say identity, I'm talking about this inner knowing that you're a man or woman. I mean, for
Yeah, what do
example,
you
I
mean by
have this.
inner knowing?
It's kind of hard to fucking explain your identity because it's not a feeling, right? It's just this inner knowing that you have that you're straight, for
It's not a
example,
feeling,
right?
but it's an inner knowing. Okay, what does it
Yes,
mean?
just
Okay,
like for example, do you mind
what
me
does it
asking
mean to
your?
have an inner knowing that you're a
Yeah,
woman? What does that mean?
let me give you an example, right? Do you mind
And
me
also, why
asking
is
your
this the kind of thing
do
that should
you
qualify
do you
as
mind
somebody
me
being a
ask?
woman?
Calm down, sir. Do you mind me asking your sexuality?
Yeah, I don't disclose that on the internet.
Okay, let's just say you're straight, right? Do
Hmm?
you have the feeling that you're straight, or do you have the inner knowing that you've always been straight?
Yeah, the feeling. I know that, like, okay, if I was straight, the reason I know I'm straight is in virtue of the fact that I'd be only attracted to males, right?
Right, that's your sexual identity, right? The same applies to
It's
gender
not an
identity.
identity, it's just a
That's so
state of
you
being.
the
It's not an
same with your gender
identity.
identity. It's a state of being. It's a state of having this innate internal
No,
sense.
I just said it's not an identity, and you said that's true of a gender identity, dude. Obviously, the contention there,
You
when
don't know
I
what
say that,
identity
what I'm
means
saying is that it's
then.
not.
You're not understanding that just
Dude,
like
you
we
can't
have
give
the
me the
inner
semantic
knowing.
breakdown. You're just saying that it's an inner knowing, and you can't break that
Yeah,
down any further.
yeah, because it's wired
An
into our
inner knowing of
brains.
what?
It's
Okay, a
wired
woman is
in
somebody.
it's wired into
Sorry,
our brains. It's programmed into our brains. Just like our
do you have a
sexual
study? Do
orientation
you
is.
have a citation for that?
Sure, it's called neurobiology of gender identity and sexual orientation.
Okay, what was the? Is this okay? Wait, what was the methodology of the study?
You don't want to go here, Rosella.
No, I
This is
really
the
do because
science.
look under my
You don't want
worldview.
you do
Look
not
from
want to
my
debate me on the
understanding.
science on this. You will get stomped on.
Well, no, look from my understanding. It seems
Okay.
like the scientific consensus on this is that there's no such thing as a female brain and there's no such thing as a male
I
brain.
never said there
Right? That
was
has
such a
been
thing. You're
okay.
confused.
Yeah,
You don't want to go
or a
here.
woman brain
You're
and a
going into
yeah,
dangerous
or a woman brain or a
territory.
man brain.
I hear the sharks coming.
And
Dun, 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 dun.
identity. Okay, what
Okay.
was the methodology of the study?
It was a review on different brain studies and scans, and we found that
Okay.
the
Oh wait, are you
parts of the
talking about the
brain.
study with the big AI machine? Wait, are you talking about the one with the AI computer and they put them in an MRI?
No, no,
Okay,
I'm
what's the
talking about a
methodology of the
review. I'm
study?
talking about like a
Okay, so they
meta
reviewed the studies,
analysis.
they
Yeah,
assessed people's brains, and
they
what did
looked
they
at
find?
hundreds of people's brains and found that there were correlations between trans women and cis women brains. They found
How did they
hormonal
do this?
genetic factors
How
that
did they wait, how did they do this?
they they looked at hormone levels. They measured hormones. They looked at genetic factors
No,
involved with
I'm
gender
talking in
and
particular about the
sexual
brains. How were they
orientation.
measured? How were the brains how were they scanned? And who determined like the gender
They used
identity of their brain?
fMRI. They used fMRI.
Okay. And what determined
Okay,
whether or not their brain, yeah, and what determined whether or not they were a man or a woman or had a brain that resembled those?
we don't look at the brain and go, that's a man brain. We ask them their gender identity. We observe their gender identity, and then we look at the brain and we go, oh look, here's a correlation between these gender identities and these brain types, right? That's how
Yeah, how did they make the correlation?
we ask them, hey, what's your gender? And then they go, I'm a man. And then we look at the brain and then we go, oh look, here are these specific structures. And then we ask other people their genders and do the same thing. And then we categorize these on a mosaic and we go, oh wow, there's correlations between cis and trans women brains in these regions, right? Like the
Wait,
hypothalamus,
are
the
these
thalamus.
mutually exclusive? Are these mutually exclusive?
What do you mean? What are?
Yeah, so like when you talk about this phenomenon of a brain being more aligned with being a man or a brain more being aligned with a woman? Is there overlap?
Of course, there's overlap,
Okay.
but that
Wait, why
doesn't
should I subscribe to a
invalidate the fact that
worldview
the
that
brain has
allows?
these.
Wait, why should I accept a worldview that allows for there to be such a significant overlap in something that should be clearly kept as distinct?
It's not kept as distinct. There's
No, I
no
said that
strictly,
should
again, I
no,
already
that
said
should
there's no strictly
obviously be
female or
kept
male
as
brain.
distinct.
I already
Did you not
said there's.
understand why I said? Wait, did you not understand what I said? Because I can repeat it for you again. I said, why should I accept, a definition of man or woman that is not mutually exclusive when these are two concepts that should obviously be kept distinct?
I never said that just because the brain means you're a man. There's obviously going to be various other factors involved here, right? We don't have enough neuroscientific knowledge to say that, this
Wait, then
overlap
what's your point with the
means,
brain?
hold on. We don't know enough about the brain to say that if there is overlap, that means that gender identity doesn't come from the brain, right? We can't say that either. So that might not be metaphysically possible. So this argument doesn't really work unless I grant you the notion that it's
I didn't
impossible
give you an
metaphysically.
argument. Holy
So,
transfer.
well, you're implying that, if
I
we
gave you an
found some
objection.
discrepancies in the data, that would that invalidate trans
Yeah, it's
people?
not an
No, it
argument.
wouldn't.
That's an objection, dude. You need to walk in. Okay, anyways. Wait, so then what was the point in bringing up the brains? If it has nothing to do with this,
The point
who
of the
we ought to
brains is
define
to
as a
show you
woman
that
and
there
who we ought
is
to
a
define as a
biological.
man.
The point is that there is a biological basis behind gender, just like there is for sexual orientation. That's what analogy
Why should I take
makes
this
them
seriously?
analogous.
Why should I take Yeah, why should I take this seriously when assessing who is a man and who is a woman?
Because just like we do it for sexual orientation, we look at the brain, right? The same we can
That's
do
not
for
how we
we
determine
can
sexual
also do the same for
orientation,
gender
dude.
identity.
That's not how we determine sexual orientation.
That's how we determine the origin of it. That's the point.
What do you mean by the what do you mean by wait, what do you mean by the origin there? Are you
the
just saying that
source,
like
the source
that's
of
how
it,
we
right? What
observe
what causes us to be
that's how we
straight?
observe it?
Do you think
Wait,
that
are
you
you saying that
choose
there's such thing as wait, are you saying there's such thing as a gay brain?
not a gay brain, but there is a gay there are genetic factors involved, there's hormonal factors, and there's neuroanatomical factors
Okay, are you
involved
saying
in
that
gay.
gay is the kind of thing that we can observe from looking at somebody's brain? Or
Uh,
homosexuality?
no, we can't observe gayness in the brain, but we can
Oh.
what we can see is correlations between people who are gay and the brain structures they have, and compare them with people like who are women. For example, we do know that gay people and gay men and cis women have very similar brain sizes and structures in the brain, in the parts that are relevant for gender identity or sexual orientation. So that's the whole point. Uh, in the regions that are very
Wait, I don't
relevant
see
for
why this is
gender, we
something I
find
should
very
take
striking
seriously.
similarities.
I grant that some people have a gender identity that aligns outside of their sex. What I obviously reject is that makes them a woman or a man, right? Just
Yeah,
them merely
I'm
having
not
this gender
saying the
identity
brain is what makes you
simplistically.
man. I'm just saying that there is a
No, I know,
biological
but the
basis.
reason why you brought this up, is because of gender identity, and you said that that's like, well, it seems like that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting and determining that
Yeah,
trans women are
the whole
women.
point is to
Yeah,
show you that it comes
right.
from the
Yeah, but
brain,
look,
just like sexual
I
orientation.
grant that
That's
there's
all.
people, I grant that there's people who think that they have a gender identity of, a woman or a man, but obviously what the point of contention is whether or not that's sufficient or the kind of thing that we should take seriously when we decide if somebody ought to be treated as a man or a woman,
Yeah,
right?
of course we treat it seriously because it's like the emerging consensus
Well, they
amongst
should.
like the
Well,
endocrinologists and the biologists around the world. Like the scientists are saying, yes, there's a biological basis behind gender.
but yeah,
And if
but
you
that's
disagree
not,
with,
dude. You're not understanding what I'm
you're
saying.
just denying the
You're not.
science. You're just a science
You're not
denier.
understanding. You're not. No, that's not what I'm denying. Again, what I'm saying is
Great.
that
So then what's your
yes, it may be
contention
true.
with the science? What's your contention with the science?
My contention isn't with the science. My contention
Then what's
is
your
that just
contention?
because somebody, yeah, just because.
What's your contention with the science?
Hold on, I'm just gonna let you calm down for 1 second before I continue. Can you let me know when you're done?
What's your
Get some
contention with
elevator
the
music.
science?
Okay, wait, hold on. Guys, I don't know if you can see this, he's not cam right now, so I'm just gonna have to, gentle parent him and wait for him to, stop acting like this, and
Stop the
then we'll go back to
theatrics.
having...
Stop the theatrics. Just get on with your
Okay,
point.
are you ready to engage in a good faith conversation with me now?
No, I have one more. What's your
No, let
contention?
me... Okay, right. Are you
Okay, go
finished
ahead.
now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I reject isn't necessarily the fact that some people have a gender identity that differs from their biological sex. But my contention is that that's the kind of thing that's sufficient to say that they're a man or a woman and ought to be treated as such in society. Right? That's the contention.
Yeah, the reason why should treat them that way is because it helps their mental health, right? So we can also make a normativity an argument from
Yeah,
normativity and
that's
say,
not a
hey, these
valid
people's
reason to.
outcomes are actually better off, right? They're healthier, they're better off when we affirm their genders, right? So there are various
Yeah.
different ways I can attack your argument. Your arguments are
Well,
all bad.
well, look, my contention with this then is that, yeah,
Your
I mean, maybe
contention?
it helps their mental health, but that's not a valid reason to allow male people to violate female consent when it comes to their
Wait,
spaces, right?
what? Wait. You don't think raising health outcomes and making people's mental health better is a good reason to
Yeah,
affirm
that
their
look,
identity?
male feelings should never come before female consent, obviously.
Not a feeling. Again, identity is not a
No,
feeling.
dude, you said that their mental health, dude, mental health is all about feelings. Are you serious?
No, it's
You said
not.
that.
Mental health is not just
Okay,
about feelings. That's an utter caricature of mental health science.
no, wait, you're saying that the reason why
Oh
we ought to
my
treat them as women in
gosh.
society is because it will hurt their egos or their, have negative mental health outcomes when we disregard this. But what I'm saying is that, their mere mental health outcomes is not sufficient to allow them to violate female consent when it comes to our spaces,
How are they
right?
violating your consent?
Yeah, so I can give you an example. When I enter a female-only changing room, I'm consenting to being seen and seeing other females. And when a man steps into that space, then he's violating my consent. Yes, Mike, it's called
Wait,
consent.
you consent? Wait a minute. You consent to only seeing females? When did you do that? Where's that paper you signed? When did
What?
you do
Wait,
that? When did
do you
you
think all?
consent for that?
Wait, do you think all consent has to be formal?
No, but I'm asking you, how
Oh,
did you
okay. So
consent
this
to
is a
that?
case of yeah. So
How
this
did
is
you
a case of
consent?
informal consent. Yeah, I can give you an example. For example, if I
Yeah,
knew that
explain to
if
me.
I entered, yeah, for example, if I knew that there was a male person in that space, then presumably I wouldn't enter it, right? And virtue of the fact that I do not consent to being seen,
Okay, so if I
and
do
to
not
seeing a male in
consent,
that space.
if I don't consent to black people being in the changing room, does that make it okay to bar them
Well,
from being in the room?
no, and I can explain to you what the
Oh,
changing
but
room
I
is.
consented to not
Well, yeah,
having
look,
black
that's not
people
why.
in
That's not.
it.
Yeah, like consent implicatory is not sufficient to say that we ought to
Oh,
abide
so
this
now, so,
action.
so
But
now
it's
consent is
consent
not
when
is
it.
not
But it's
enough now.
consent.
It's not enough. Only for
Well,
the ones
well,
I don't
look.
want people.
Okay,
Come on,
guys,
this
look,
is
he's doing
utterly
it again. We're just
insane. This
gonna
is inconsistent.
wait. Can you let me explain and maybe you don't understand? Okay, great. Maybe you can calm down this time as well. Okay, so when it comes to consent, right? Obviously, there are forms of consent that we would say are pretty unjustified. For example, if I say I do not consent to you not sending me $5,000 right now, that would be unjust, and you ought not to uphold that. But the reason why it's entirely justified for female people to consent, or to for our consent to be regarded and taken seriously when it comes to this particular circumstance is in virtue of the fact that every 4 minutes a woman is grouped at the hands of a male person and every 10 minutes is unalived at the hands of them. Another reason why your
Okay.
analogy doesn't
All
work. Yeah,
right. So
another
what you're
reason why you're.
saying is,
Yeah,
oh, but this argument
wait,
doesn't
wait, wait.
work. This argument fails
Wait,
because there's no
no,
evidence that
no.
trans women are at more. You're more danger. There's more danger because trans women are in the restroom. You're in your spaces. There's no
Well, there
evidence of that
actually
claim.
is.
Yeah. What's your source on that claim?
Yeah, there actually is. Yeah, there was a study conducted in Sweden that basically followed a large number, I think it was 300 and something trans women post um what they would call a sex change, full sex reassignment surgery, and they basically found that these males still retain male patterns of criminality, which means that they still commit the crimes to the majority of they still commit the crimes
That's not
typically
what I
associated with
asked you. I'm
males, and
asking
then
for your source that trans women are
you would
more
like this one.
likely
Okay.
to harm you than any other demographic of women in
Okay,
the
I have them
bathroom or
bookmarked
in.
on my computer, so you'll need to give me 1 second. But I would like to point out another false thing or another
Yeah.
disanalogous thing in your analogy, and it's
No,
that in
just
cases
give
where
us the fucking
in
source of your
cases
claims.
yeah, dude, I will. I like genuinely, I'll grab it right after I'm finished the sentence. But another reason why your analogy doesn't work is in virtue of the fact that when white women are saying to black people that you can't enter our space is in virtue of the fact that you're black. The white women are the oppressors there. And actuality, when male people are barging their
Okay.
way into female-only
Okay.
spaces and females are laying a concrete boundary, they're actually the ones being oppressed.
Okay,
right?
great.
Rather
So
than the
if we
trans identifying males.
great. So if we discovered tomorrow that white females were actually at 10%, were actually as dangerous as trans women, would you be
That's
okay
obviously
with?
false.
Wait a
You know the
minute. Let's see
majority
if
of trans women.
let's see if you let's see
Wait. You know
let's
the
see if you're being
majority.
consistent. Let's see if you're being consistent, Rosella. All right. If tomorrow we discovered that white females were as dangerous as trans women in the restrooms, would you be okay with stopping all white females from being in the women's restroom?
Is it in virtue of the fact that they're white?
Can you answer the question with a yes or no?
Yeah, that was a clarifying question.
Yes or no? Answer the question.
I asked you a clarifying question, and I'm more than willing to engage in it
Can
the
you just
moment that
answer?
you
See how
engage
you're
in
dodging?
a
You're
clarifying question.
like Neo from the
Yeah, look, I
Matrix.
asked you, is it in virtue of the fact that they are white? Is it in virtue of the fact that they are white?
Answer
Yes
the
or no?
question. Answer the question.
Yeah, is it in virtue of the fact that they're white?
It
Look,
doesn't
you're just not
matter.
clarifying. Like, this is a really bad faith thing
It
to
doesn't
do.
matter.
Well, I think it matters, so can you just, like, clarify? Is it in virtue of the fact that they're white?
No, that they're dangerous.
Wait, so it's not because they're white.
I'm
Wait, then
mirroring
why would
your
it be
argument.
analogous?
I'm parroting
Wait,
your
then why would it
argument.
be analogous to males? Because
Because
the
you
reason
said
why
that
males are so
trans
odd
women
is
were more
because they're
dangerous.
males.
Because you said that trans women are more
Yes, in virtue of
dangerous.
the fact that they're male. Yeah, in virtue of the fact that they're males. If it's not analogous in the case of white women, then I don't see how it could possibly like. I just think that it's jargon and it's not analogous. Therefore, I'm not obligated to answer it.
So then you would agree that if there was no actual evidence that trans women were more dangerous in the restroom, then you would be okay with
Well, there
allowing them in.
is.
Wait, oh, okay,
No,
great. So then
no,
give me the
that's not true.
source. So then give me the
You're not
evidence.
understanding me.
So then
Yeah,
give
so
me
when
the
we look at the
source.
UK, yeah,
Give
when
me
we
the
look at the
source for
UK
your
prison
claim,
data,
because you made the claim. Give us the source.
I'm trying to, but you just can't control yourself. Like, you're a moid. Can you please muzzle yourself? Thank you. Anyways, yeah, so when we look at the UK prison data, we actually find that the majority of trans identifying males
That's
that are
not
in
what I
there
asked you.
are.
I didn't ask you for prison data. I asked you to show
This
us that
literally proves my point.
it doesn't prove anything.
Proves my
Of
point.
course, people in prison are more dangerous.
Well, you wouldn't know that because
This applies to every
you're not letting me
demographic,
finish.
including white
You're
females
not
such
letting me
as yourself.
finish.
I'm asking, what's the evidence that trans women are more dangerous in your spaces? Simpliciter.
Wait, particularly in our spaces?
Yes.
Yeah, because per capita the assault is more. Hello? Like, what? Than female people,
What's the
obviously?
evidence
Are you
that
serious?
trans women are more dangerous in the bathroom?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, I can wait
Wait,
all
do you
day.
grant the male? Wait,
Don't worry, I
do you
can wait
grant
all
that
day for
male?
this nonsense because it doesn't exist.
Do you grant that males are more violent towards females
Of
than
course,
female
but
people?
that doesn't mean trans women are more violent.
Trans women males?
Yes, but not every demographic of male is going to be more violent. There's no
How
evidence
does that
that
not
trans
follow then
women
that they're
are
more?
more
Wait, how does
violent.
that not follow then? How does that not follow?
There's no evidence that trans women are more violent in the bathroom. Can you give the
There's
source
no.
for that?
Okay, look, I'm literally. Wait, are you talking about particularly in the bathroom? Because the example I gave wasn't even surrounding a bathroom. It was regarding a changing room.
You're the one
and I don't know
saying
why
that
I
they're
didn't
more
even know.
dangerous in the restroom.
It's a changing room.
Okay, changing room. I'm sorry. Show us the evidence. Show us that trans women are more dangerous in the
I'm trying to
changing
pull it
room.
up. Can you control yourself?
We're waiting. Sir?
Same person who cried about how misgendering causes people to unalive themselves, by the way, like 10 minutes ago.
It's not misgendering, right? See how disgusting people are? It's not
You're
misgendering that makes them
disgusting. Look at
unalive. It's the constant dread of
Wait,
being
so it's okay.
invalidated.
So it's okay
That would
to
affect
misgender
everybody. See, this is a caricature, right? It's not misgendering that necessarily makes them do those terrible things. It's the fact that they feel invalidated their entire lives by society. They feel isolated, like nobody understands them. That's what happens. It's a constant,
So anyways,
consistent
when we look at
feeling
the
of isolation.
yeah,
That's
so when
what
we look at the
happens.
holy shit, dude, holy shit. Are you finished? Yeah, so the
No,
majority
you
of
have no empathy.
trans-identifying...
No empathy, man.
Empathy for who? For males? Yeah, I don't. Hello? Womp womp. You're a moid. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, so when we look at the UK prison data when it comes to trans-identifying males, we actually find that the majority of them are in there for a violent crime against a female
They're
person.
talking about
So that's
prisoners.
one
Of course, they're
argument.
going to be more violent. They're prisoners. I'm
No,
asking
but
about
this
the
doesn't
average
apply.
trans person.
This doesn't
Lola,
apply.
I mean, Rosella, you
Apply
have
to
no
a cis man.
evidence. You have no evidence
Yeah,
that your claim
this
is
doesn't apply to a
true
cis
that
man.
the
This
average
doesn't
trans
apply to
woman
cis
is more
men.
violent.
I just told you. Are you serious? They're literally in there for crimes against females
Oh
more
yeah,
than
how
cisgendered
many trans
men.
women was that survey on?
I think it was 370 something. Hold on, I can check.
300.
Um,
Wow. Did you know that there are
wait, I may
millions
be
of
getting it.
trans
Wait, I may
people
be
out
getting.
there?
I
There
may
are
be
millions
getting.
of trans people. 300 prisoners? You're going to look
It's
at
either
300. Oh, yeah,
300 or
that's not biased at all. That's
178.
not biased at all. That's selection
But I'm
bias. You know
literally
what
getting this
selection
here.
bias
Wait, hold
is?
on. Do you
You
guys see what
can't
he's doing with your
study
ID?
violence
Hold
and
on.
go, oh, look, prisoners
I
are
think
more
it's
violent.
178.
That
Yeah,
means
I think
this
it's
is not valid.
178, but you're missing the point entirely. You understand that the reason 124. Okay, you might actually be right. I might be getting them mixed up with another study. But when we talk about wait, hold on, wait, someone said hold on. Okay, yeah, I can get you the evidence that the majority of trans-identifying males in female prisons, or sorry, in prisons in general, are in there for a violent crime against females, and that's disproportionate to what you would call like cisgendered males, right? Oh,
We're
thank
not
you,
talking
Miko.
about prisons. I know prisoners are more violent.
Wait,
This applies to
why?
every demographic. I'm
No,
asking
no,
you
it
the
doesn't.
average
Dude.
trans woman. I'm asking you the average
Okay,
trans
hold
woman.
on,
Show me that the average person is more violent because they're trans.
hold on.
How old? You're not. She's not 14. She's 20,
I
right?
don't even have my Instagram on my page. I don't know why people are like lying. Okay, so when we look at the prison data when it comes to oh,
Stop with the prison data. The prison data.
like look,
We know that
this literally
prisoners are more
proves my
violent.
point. You're not
Stop with
understanding,
the
dude. It's like
prisoners. We don't care about prisoners. They're violent. We know they're violent. We're talking about the
no,
average trans
you're not
person. The
understanding the
average
point.
trans person.
You're not understanding the point. Okay, you asked me for a source that trans-identifying males are more, aggressive or more likely to abuse us than other females. Now,
On
the
average,
evidence.
not prison.
Okay, you're not understanding the point that I'm mentioning. So the reason why I bring this up isn't necessarily because I'm looking at prisoners and I'm saying, well, look how violent and aggressive these people are. What I am saying is, when we look at the prison data for what you would call a cisgendered man, the amount of them that are in there for violent crimes against women is significantly less than the amount of them that are in there, or significantly less than the amount of trans-identifying males who are in there.
Okay, but
Right, when
that
it comes
doesn't
to
tell us
violating.
about the average trans person. That tells us about 100 of them in a prison. I want to know the average person, the average trans person. Are they more
I don't think that
violent?
we have evidence for that. Look, I can give you another
Thank
citation.
you.
This was a study.
I agree. We don't have evidence. There is no evidence of that. That's the point.
Wait,
There's no
well,
evidence that they're dangerous. That's the whole point.
I can give you another citation. This was a Swedish study. This is the one that followed. I think this was the one that was 300, around 300 trans-identifying males. This was post, like a sex change, like post full, body operations. And they basically followed them and found that they still had
Prisons? Is this
pattern.
prison populations?
No, this is following trans-identifying males post, like every single surgery that you can get, transgender surgery you can get, and it basically found that the majority, or they still maintain male patterns of criminality even post-op. I can get you that study if you would like.
Okay, but that's on 300 people. We need
That's
a
the
more
best data
sample
that we
size.
have
We
in
need a
regards
bigger
to this,
sample
but
size.
look,
I
I can
think
give you another
300 is not
argument.
very representative
I can give you
of
another argument
millions
as
of
to
trans
why we
people
should.
that exist.
Yeah, I can give you another argument, like if that's what you want. And my other wait, hold on.
I just
Do
want
you
a
want me to get
reason
you the
why
Swedish? Wait, do you want me to get you the study or no? Because I can move
Sure.
on
I
to
don't
another
see how
topic.
that would change anything
Okay,
based
hold
on
on.
300 people.
Okay, wait, if you think it's irrelevant, I'd probably rather not waste my time trying to find it, right? I can give you another argument though. Like,
Okay, go ahead.
well, you agreed earlier that male people are more likely to abuse female people. You also agreed that trans women are male. So it logically follows from that that trans women are more likely to abuse us than female people, right?
No,
That's just
again,
that's a logic that logically
not a,
follows. Don't even start.
the male demographic is an umbrella demographic, but it can be divided into many other demographics. And for example, you can have a demographic of Asian men or black men or white men. They each can have different uh, rates of violent crime. And so the same with trans women. Trans women's a
Dude, you're
demographic of
missing the
males.
point. The argument I'm giving
That
you,
doesn't
like, what
necessarily
you're
mean that
telling
they
me.
meet the average male's
Hold
violent
on,
rate.
we're walking through this, right? This is modus ponens, right? If it is the case that somebody is male, they are more likely to abuse a female than another female. It is the case that trans women are male, therefore, they are more likely to abuse female people than other females. That's modus ponens. That's logically valid.
No, because trans women
That follows.
is a demographic of men.
The
Of
never
male.
goalpost shifting. Wait,
Again,
okay, so
okay.
there's
So for
specific
example,
demographics
let's
of
let's do
men.
this,
Wait, hold
Lola.
on, hold on.
Let's say are infants males? Yes, right. We'll have male infants. Males are more dangerous
Yeah,
than
we're obviously talking
females.
about the adult.
Okay,
We're talking about the
infants.
adult.
Infants are that means infants are more dangerous, right? The male infants are more
I just said
dangerous,
that we're
right?
talking. I said that we're talking about the adult king.
Wait,
You
doesn't it
dumb
mean that
fuck.
male
What
infants are more
king?
dangerous in your view?
I just clarified this. Are you serious? I said we're obviously talking about the adult kind. Are you serious?
Oh,
Do you
great.
have
So
a
exactly.
yeah?
So
The
not
average
every
man, the
you
average
have to
adult
see
human
how you have
male.
to filter your data more. You can't just say because the average male is more dangerous, then every demographic that fits that category is more dangerous. It applies to the average. The
Yes, and the
average does not
average.
apply to every single demographic. The same with infants. Infants is a
Dude,
clear example of
okay,
this.
like if I'm
Male
being entirely
infants are
honest, there's
not more violent. They're not as
okay. There's
violent
only
as the
one other
average male. Do you agree?
yeah. There's only like one other case that
Okay,
I
great.
could possibly
So
point to in which a
you have
male
to
could be
still show
excluded
that
from this.
trans women are more dangerous or as dangerous as the average male. You haven't shown that.
We just walked through it together, but again, when I say oh, thank you, woman defender. Yeah, so I guess oh, fuck, what were we talking about again? Wait, what did you just say? What I was gonna say just fell out of my head. Oh yeah, so I was gonna
Seems
say
like your
that
whole
there's
brain
only like
did as well. Your whole brain fell out
yeah,
too.
so I okay. Yeah, so I think that like, I can only point to like one other case off the top of my head in which a male might be excluded from this rule. And that's if that male is like severely, severely cognitively impaired. That's like the only exception that I could possibly point to.
Okay, so again, can you support your claim that trans women are as dangerous or more than males?
I never said that. I said they were more dangerous than females. Obviously that's true. Hello. Look at the trans prison population of who's in there for violent crimes against
Okay,
females in regards to the female
so you're
population.
saying that we
Oh
shouldn't
fuck
allow
yourself.
them into the restroom or the changing room because they're more dangerous than females. But what if we discovered that
Yeah,
some
and that's in
females
virtue
were
of their
more
sex.
dangerous? What if we discovered that some females were as dangerous as trans women?
Is that in virtue of their sex?
In virtue of the danger.
Of their sex? Is that danger because of their sex?
Oh my gosh. The reason why you don't want
Like
them in the room
he
with you
won't
is because
clarify. Look, because he knows that if he clarifies, then I've got
let's
one,
ask this
dude. Like,
again, right? Let's ask this again. The reason why you don't want them there is because they're more dangerous, right?
yeah, but particularly like they're more dangerous in virtue of their sex, right? So if that's not
No,
analogized in
sex
the case
doesn't
of
make
a
you
female,
dangerous. No, sex does not make you dangerous.
like you don't think that that plays a role in it at all?
No, my penis doesn't make me dangerous.
Wait, so just
What
to
are
be
you
clear, you
talking
think that
about?
if the wait, so just to be clear, you still think that if the average man was the size of a garden gnome, he would be just as dangerous? Sorry, he would be equally as dangerous so far as he was maybe nurtured in the same way. Are you serious?
Sex. We're not talking about size. We're talking about reproductive anatomy.
Wait, you don't think your sex has much to do with your size? Are you
My
serious?
penis, my
Obviously
ball
it
sack
does.
doesn't
Wait, why
make
do
me
you
more
think
dangerous. Just
why
having
do
a
you think
ball
that
sack
males
doesn't
are
make
on
me more
average taller
dangerous.
than females, dude? Why do you think that males are
I know that
taller
males
than
are
females
larger,
on
but that
average?
isn't. I know males are
Yeah, because
larger,
of their
but it's not
sex, right?
sex
Because they
based. It's not based on sex, right? My ball sack does
wait,
not
you
make
don't
me
think
more
that
dangerous.
well, I mean, I don't know about you. It seems like you can't stop talking about it, and I think that that's kind of strange. But outside of that, I mean, look, it seems like
What? What? I'm so confused. What are you talking about? My penis
are
does
you
not make me
finished?
more dangerous on its own.
Are you
It's just a
finished?
penis.
Are you finished? Anyways, so if it's not about sex, then just to be entirely clear, you take the view that, if men were the size of fairies, they would be just as dangerous, right?
If men were the size of berries? What are you talking about?
Fairies. Fairies.
Berries?
Fairies. Yep. You would say that they're just as dangerous, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not saying size
Okay,
doesn't
look.
make us more dangerous. It can, but my
Okay, but that your
penis
size is in
doesn't.
virtue of your yeah, but your
My
size is
sex
in
doesn't
virtue of
make
your
me more
sex,
dangerous on
right?
its own. It doesn't make it on its own
Yeah,
more dangerous.
the reason why males are okay, true or false? The reason why males are taller than females on average is in virtue of their sex. True or false? So
Yeah,
there's no way that
based on sex
there's no way
traits.
that you're
Yeah,
scratching
you
your
can say
head like
that.
this. Okay, great. So then clearly have like your physical sex has something to do with your ability to grape women, right? And to be violent towards us, correct?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that
So it's
sex alone is making you more
yeah, I
dangerous.
never made that claim. I never made
Okay,
that claim.
great.
But
So
what
it's
I'm saying
not
is that
based
it's
on
a
sex that makes you dangerous. It's other
that's
factors.
not true. Again, that's not what I said either. Look, I think it's a mixture of
Okay,
both.
great.
But if
So
it's the case that these
again,
females, okay, if it's the case that these females are not dangerous in virtue of their sex, then there's a clear distinction, right? And you can't clarify that for me. You can't tell me, yes, Lola, it's not, or yeah, Lola, it's not because they're female that they're dangerous. You can't seem to say that sentence.
yeah, just them being male doesn't make them more dangerous, right? What makes them more dangerous is their propensities.
You just agreed that that did make them more dangerous. Are you serious? You just
No,
said that that played a role
their
in it. Are you
sex does
fucking
not make them
serious?
more dangerous. They have propensities
Look,
for
he's walking it
danger.
back now. Do you guys
They
see this? He's
typically
like
have
walking it back.
propensities for danger. That's what makes males more dangerous.
Actually shifting the
Not their
goalpost, by the way.
penis, not their ball sack, not their testicles. That doesn't make them more
If
dangerous.
you guys are trying to learn like your logical fallacies, this is what we call a goalpost shift, right? What Mike just did there. So he already agreed that the male sex. Oh, thank you so much, woman. You're so sweet to me. Um, yeah, he just agreed that being male does do a lot in regards to male aggression against females, and now he's just walking that back entirely. But,
I never said being
anyways,
male makes you more dangerous, so that's a straw man. Go ahead. That's a straw man fallacy. For you
wait.
guys listening, that's called a straw man fallacy. If you want to know
I
your
don't know why he's
fallacies,
acting like this. I don't know why he's acting like this, guys. Like,
okay, what?
honestly, like,
Okay,
I tried
great.
to tell him
So
earlier that
let's
he
go
needed to
back to
clarify.
the actual discussion, right?
Yeah.
You said before
No, I
that
still
what
want you to
makes
clarify
what
the
why you
question I
don't want them
asked
in
you.
the restroom is
Look, I
because they're
asked
more
you for a clarifying
dangerous.
question, and I'm yet to hear a response.
Okay, so why don't you want them in the changing room with you? Is it because of their sex, or is it because of they're more dangerous?
Well, it's both, and they're both in virtue of each other. They're more dangerous because they're male, right?
No, they're not more
Yes,
dangerous
they
because
are.
they're male.
Dude. Okay, so you think that if
Being
males
male does not
develop.
make you
Wait,
inherently more dangerous. That's the
okay.
point. Being male does
Wait,
not make you more
do you think.
does not inherently make you dangerous. Do you
Do you
agree?
think that. No,
Okay, so you think
obviously
male
not.
infants are inherently dangerous?
I told you I'm talking about the adult kind. Are you fucking serious?
Okay, so then that just because you're male
Yes, we're
doesn't make you
talking
inherently
about adults.
dangerous. If you could be
We're
if you
talking
could
about
be an infant
adults.
male, if you could be an infant male, you're not inherently dangerous. You agree?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Infant males are not inherently dangerous. Do you agree?
Inherently, no. Yeah, they're not inherently dangerous.
So not all males are inherently dangerous. It's
Not
not
all of
predicated
it.
on
The same
sex.
way, the same way that like a
You just
yeah,
inadvertently conceded.
the same way that like a male dragonfly isn't a fucking threat to me. You dumb fuck. Hello. Obviously, I'm talking about the adult kind, and I'm talking about the human kind.
Okay, great. So not all males are going to be dangerous inherently. So that's why trans women are not inherently more dangerous. So try again. Justify why they shouldn't be in the changing room.
Wait, do you agree that the reason why males are more violent towards women is because of nurture, right?
Nurture?
Yeah.
Why are males more dangerous because of nurture? I don't know what that
Yeah,
means.
because you don't know what nature versus nurture
Oh,
is?
you mean nature? I don't understand
No,
your accent.
nurture. Nurture, dude. Nurture. How they're
Okay.
raised. Do you think that's why males are more aggressive,
I
right?
don't think.
Holy
Well,
shit, dude.
it
There's no fucking way that
depends.
you're lost
There's
here.
many different factors that makes people dangerous. Nurture could be a reason, but not always.
Okay, what do you think the main reason why males are aggressive towards females is, please? I
Testosterone.
promise this is
They have higher
Are you fucking
testosterone, higher
serious?
tendencies for aggression.
Are you fucking serious? What? This has been debunked so many times. Would you like a
Okay, there's
source that
many other
testosterone
factors. It's
can
not just
Wait, would you
testosterone, but
like
it's
a
one
wait,
of the
actually,
main
let me just
factors.
debunk this real quick. Bring up your computer right now. Hold on. Let me grab a source for you. I want you to read this out in front of everybody on the live. Hold on.
Oh my God! It doesn't. The point is that there's many factors. It's not just
No, you're
testosterone. There's
no.
many.
Hold on.
There's
I'm not
many
letting you run away
factors
from this.
involved
I'm
with
not letting
aggression
I'm
and
not letting you run
being.
away from this. I'm not letting you run away from this. Testosterone has no effect, almost no effect on aggression at all. And it's so like the effect that it does is so fucking minuscule. Hold on, let me get this study.
It can amplify tendencies. That's what
No, hold on. I'm
testosterone
giving you my
does.
study.
Yes,
Yeah, that's not a
testosterone.
study.
Having more
No.
testosterone can amplify your existing tendencies to be aggressive and
Hold
dominant.
on. I'm giving you a high quality study. I'm not just gonna fucking read off some bullshit on the
I'm not
internet. Hold on.
saying I'm not saying that testosterone inherently makes you more dangerous, but I'm saying that it can amplify it, right? It
You
could
just said
be
that it made
an
you more
amplifier.
aggressive. Are you fucking serious? Are you
It can
serious?
amplify your
What?
aggression.
What's
That's
wrong with this
obvious.
guy? He said that it. No, that's okay. That's obviously false. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna look at Hold on. Um. Okay.
Testosterone activates the subcortical
So
areas of the brain to produce
no, hold
aggression.
on. I'm giving you a high quality study, peer reviewed, meta analyzed. Lock in. Okay. Have you got Google up?
Testosterone plays a significant role in the
Have you
arousal
got
of
Google up?
behavioral
Yes or no? Holy
manifestations.
shit. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
so
dude.
I
Have you
have a
got
study
Google?
here
Okay.
that says study
No, I
called
have a study. Let me
testosterone
give
and
you my
aggressive
study.
behavior in men.
Okay, wait, hold on. We'll read that in a second. My study is, and please type this in, because I'm not going to repeat it for you. So, exogenous. Would you like me to spell it out for you?
No, no, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Have you got the next? Are you ready to put the next word?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Testosterone.
Okay.
And then put a comma.
Mm-hmm.
Aggression.
Okay.
Another comma.
Okay.
And mood.
I'm sorry. What?
And mood.
Unmute? I
No,
don't know what that.
oh my god.
What does that mean? I'm sorry. I don't
I put
understand
it
the
in the
accent.
chat. I put it in the chat.
Oh,
I put it in
in
the chat.
mood. Oh, mood. Okay, mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's the
I'm
next part. I
ready.
put that in the
I'm
chat.
ready. I'm ready. What's
Yeah, I put
next?
the next part in the chat. I put the next part in the chat. Holy shit.
Oh, I have to look at the chat now?
Yeah, dude, it's right
I'm
there.
scrolling. I gotta scroll up. I don't see it.
Okay,
It's like
right.
cracking the code. Da Vinci
I
Code.
don't even know. I don't even know how to like pronounce this word in my accent. If I'm being entire. Okay, I don't. You get. No, I can't. I can't
It's that
even.
hard of a
Yeah,
word?
yeah. Like if someone else put it in the chat. No, it's not a hard word. It's like my like I like I put it
Ugandal?
in the chat. So, yeah, you got
You,
Ugando. Yeah,
you don't know what the study says, but you know what it. You know the title of it, but
Ugando.
you know what it means?
Dude, my
That's
accent
strange.
has like okay, like don't even. This is like xenophobia now. To making fun of me. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah, what does it show?
hypogonadal
What
men.
does it demonstrate?
Yeah, so this particular study, it gave men 200 milligrams of testosterone weekly for 8 weeks, and it found no significant increase in aggression or mood disturbance in the healthy men.
Yeah, adding it doesn't necessarily make you more aggressive. I agree. What's your point?
Wait, so then how does testosterone make you aggressive then? Hello?
it it can it can sharpen your reactivity to provocation
It can
or
sharpen
provide.
your reactivity.
Yes,
Do you
it
know what
can
else
make you
does
more
that? Dude,
reactive.
fucking ashwagandha. Do you think ashwagandha makes you more aggressive, you dumb
No,
fuck?
it can have different effects on your
Oh.
behavior, right? But your very own study says that it doesn't necessarily cause rage, but it can sharpen your
Yeah.
reactivity to certain things like competition.
Yeah, so does ashwagandha. Hello? Do you think taking ashwagandha makes you more fucking or do you think actually no,
No,
do you think
no,
taking
that
ADHD
doesn't.
med
No,
no,
that has
do you
different
think taking
behavioral effects on you. What are you
do you
talking
think
about?
that
It's a
taking
different
ADHD
substance.
yeah, do you think taking ADHD medication makes you more aggressive?
No, because testosterone has a different
Oh.
type of chemical basis. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
but you said that the reason why testosterone makes you more aggressive is because it sharpens your what was it you said again? Sorry. You said it sharpens
It
your
sharpens your reactivity to competition and,
oh,
social
due to
provocation.
competition. Oh. Wait, do you have a study for that?
The very one you cited says this.
Where does it say that? Hold on, let me pull up the study. Hold on. What part of the study does it say this in?
I was reading the AI overview of it.
Holy shit, dude. So you can't tell me what part of the study it says this in. No significant changes in aggression or mood levels are
Yeah,
found.
look,
Oh my god,
I can
significant
agree that
reductions in negative
adding
mood, tension,
testosterone does
anxiety.
not make you more aggressive necessarily,
Okay, so if it's the case that okay, then if it's the case,
it
okay,
obviously can have an effect on your mood. This is
okay.
obvious.
So
Like
if it's the case,
the study I
okay,
showed, the
holy
study
shit,
I
dude.
have. Shh, hold on. The study I gave you before, called testosterone degressive behavior, does say that testosterone can
Wait, what's the name of the study?
play a significant role in the arousal of some behaviors, including
Yeah, what's the name of
aggression.
the study? What's the name
It's
of the
called
study?
testosterone and aggressive behavior in men.
Aggressive behavior. Is this peer reviewed?
Yeah.
Is it meta-analyzed?
I meant to what?
Met
Analysis?
okay. Meta-analyze. Oh my god, dude. You know what? Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a meta-analyst.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at your
Oh,
study.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a metamorphosis. It says testosterone plays a
Okay, this
significant role
paper
in
is
the
overall.
arousal.
Wait, hold on. This. Hold on. Okay, this study. Hold on. I'm just doing the AI overview thing as well. It says that in studies in which like they've given men high doses of testosterone, it did not increase their aggression or their anger. Right now, the reason why I think that this is a relevant thing to bring up is it seems like if testosterone is the kind of thing that causes aggression and we pump people full of the hormone, it seems like we would observe that it would make
I
people more
never.
aggressive,
Okay,
and
okay. Let me be clear.
we've never seen
Testosterone
that.
doesn't cause aggression. I'm saying it can
No, I said
amplify it. That already exists. That's all.
no. Well, I asked you what do you think makes males aggressive, and you said testosterone.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are going to be hormonal differences in versus females that can lead us to being
Do you
more
think? Hey, do you
aggressive.
think that trans men are more likely to abuse women than like female? Or sorry, than like. Do you think trans identifying females are more likely, or that take testosterone? Or wait, no, rather, do you think women with PCOS are more aggressive than like females without PCOS?
Not necessarily more aggressive, but yeah, they can have mood changes for sure based on hormonal changes. That's obvious.
Okay, but that's true when I get my period. right? That's
Yes,
not in
hormonal
virtue of
changes
testosterone.
affect your behaviors. Yes, this is
Wait, but
obvious.
that's not in. Well, yeah, but look, that's not in virtue of testosterone, right? Because
I
females only
know, but
release.
estrogen
Right,
has
yeah.
other
So
effects.
I'm
It has
asking. What I'm
other effects.
asking
The
you.
point is that hormones can affect your behaviors to some
No,
extent. It
you're
does
not
not
understanding what I'm
necessarily
asking. What I'm
cause
asking
it,
you is,
but can
do you think
affect
in virtue
it.
of the fact, do you think that in virtue of the fact that women with PCOS, naturally produce more testosterone, they're automatically more likely to be
Again,
aggressive?
testosterone
Or
doesn't
okay,
cause you to be more aggressive necessarily. It
do
can
you think it
amplify
heightens
what
their
you already are.
likeliness?
It can amplify what you already are, like the Hulk, right? It can amplify what you already have. That's all. It's that simple. But again,
Okay, so
if we
but just
let's
to
go
be
back
clear,
to
you
if we go
think
back to the
wait,
actual
if it's the
debate
case,
now. Let's go back to the actual debate.
wait, no, wait, no, like, you're running away now. You don't want me to press you any further on this. Like,
Running
if you're
from
saying
what?
that, yeah, from my next line of
Oh my
questioning,
gosh.
obviously,
Here we
okay,
go.
you, so you said something very interesting, right? You said that if it's the case that somebody has testosterone in them and they have underlying, you know, like, what's the term? Feelings, they could possibly lead them to be aggressive. You said that that would maybe make them more likely to act upon this aggression. I'm just confirming that you take this to be the case with women with PCOS, right? You would say that in actuality they are more likely to act upon in an aggressive manner.
No, testosterone does
Okay.
not
Then you're just
cause
contradicting
aggression. It can
yourself.
amplify what you already
I
are.
asked you what do you think causes aggression in males, and you said testosterone.
Yeah, okay.
So are you
I
conceding
had to
this?
clarify. I had to clarify. I didn't mean
So you're
cause. It
conceding.
meant it amplifies what you already have.
So you're
This is
conceding.
such a stupid thing to debate about.
So you're just conceding then. Okay, that's fine. Look, I
Conceding
honestly
what?
like.
That I made a mistake?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I made a
testosterone
mistake.
isn't okay.
Okay,
Okay,
can we move
so
on to the actual discussion now?
well, yeah, of course, but I mean,
Okay,
I would
great.
just like
So,
to say that.
so why shouldn't trans women be in your space?
Yeah, I mean, because women don't consent, and the reason why this consent is justified is in virtue of the fact that male people violate or rather, rape us every 4 minutes and unalive us every 10 minutes. We understand that they're more likely to abuse us than female people, and then also
But that doesn't
the
apply to
reason
all
why.
males. That doesn't apply to trans women necessarily. So you have to show that why
Well,
trans
it
women are more
does.
aggressive.
It does, and I
So,
already
so
showed
what's
you.
your evidence of that though?
I already gave you two citations for this: the
You gave
UK
me
prison
prisoner. You
statistics,
gave
and
me a
then the
hundred
study.
people in a prison. That's not a source. I'm
Yeah,
asking
and
for
then the
the
study.
evidence. All right, let me
Yeah,
make it clear for you. I'm asking for
dude,
the
I'm
evidence.
giving you my other study. You dumb fuck. Hello,
I'm asking for
holy
the
shit.
evidence, sir, that trans women are more likely to commit
By the way, just to
crime.
make it clear, guys, this guy was crying that if I like misgender trans-identifying males, then they're gonna like unalive themselves. And then look what he's doing to me. I'm dead. But, anyways, yeah. So again, the other study I cited here is a Swedish study in which they, took 300 and I think it was 78 trans-identifying males post-sex reassignment surgery, and they understood that they had male patterns of criminality.
Okay, 300 people. It's like a fraction of a
378.
fraction of a fraction of the demographic
Well,
of actual trans people.
that's the
I'm asking you.
look, that's like the best evidence that we have in regards to this. But look, I would like to continue what we were talking about previously. So before or after you said that testosterone makes males more aggressive towards females, you were going on to say other things. What were those other things?
We're talking about aggression now. Is this what you're asking me?
That's
Instead of giving me the
that's
source
literally
that
like
trans women are,
that's the
or
crux of my
that
argument. Hello.
you're still haven't given me the source that trans women are as likely as other
I
males to
just
commit
gave you
harm.
two. I just gave you two. I just gave you two.
Okay, great. So your argument is
They
that
contain male
because
patterns
they're
of criminality
okay,
per
so
capita though.
so
Per
if we discover
capita.
tomorrow that some females have male patterns of criminality, should we stop them from being in the
Is
restroom?
that in virtue of their sex?
No, virtue of their crime of their criminality.
In virtue what? They're more likely to violate women in like significant ways. In
Hmm.
virtue of their criminal. What the fuck does that even mean? Are you serious?
Look, if we found that
In virtue of
some female demographic some female populations were just or more dangerous than males, should we stop them from being in the restroom?
okay, what is this in virtue of?
There are violent rates. Violence rates.
Yeah, what's the violence rates in virtue of? Why is this being caused?
It's caused because they're more violent. That just they have propensities for
Why are they more
violence.
violent? Holy circular, holy
Why
circular.
does it matter
You're
where
not
it comes
helping
from? Why
anything?
does it matter?
Yeah, because that's one of the main, like, that's one of the main,
I'm not.
like,
Look,
cemetery
I'm just
ratios,
trying to
right?
ask you, why
Oh
do you
my
think
gosh.
we should not let trans women? And you say because they're more
I've
they're more
given you several
crime.
reasons. Okay, so look, I can give you
Okay,
another, like, wait,
no,
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 let's walk away
no,
from this for a second.
stop. I'm asking you, why shouldn't trans women be in your space? You're saying because they commit crimes as much as regular males. I'm
No, I never
asking
said that.
you.
I never said that. I said that they violate us more than females. That's obviously true.
Okay, great. So if you discovered some females violated you as much as those trans women, should we bar those females from being in those spaces?
Okay, why are these females more aggressive? That's what it comes down to. And until you answer
Because
that,
they
then you're
just
not
have
going to get anywhere
propensities
with
for
something.
aggression. They had dispositions for aggression.
Yes, that's presumed under the view, but why? Why is the question?
Because they have dispositions just as males do.
Okay, and that's because of why?
Oh my gosh, they have the same dispositions as males do for committing crime. I don't know what else to tell you. Why is this so
Then yeah,
hard?
we can just like if we live in a
Wait. What'd you
society.
say? Wait, what'd you say?
Wait, would you like me to finish what I'm saying?
Wait, I think I heard a yes. I heard a yes.
No, that wasn't in response to the question. But look, I'm gonna answer this in a
Wait,
good
so
faith
what's your
way.
answer to the question?
Yeah, if it's not in virtue of their sex, then I see no reason to exclude them in virtue of this. But look, I can grant that if it's the case that we live in a society and the society wants to reduce the amount of violence
Okay, so
against,
then it's not
you know,
about
female
criminality,
people.
it's about the
Hold on.
sex. See, this is what I'm trying to show you, right? You
It's
just
about the sex.
demonstrated that
Obviously, it's about the sex.
it's not
Holy shit.
about the crime. You don't care about the crime, it's about
Oh
the
my
sex
god,
you
dude.
care about.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.
This is why
Look,
your
I'm
argument
saying the
crumbles, right?
reason.
This is why your
No,
argument's
look,
bad because you're predicating
the
your
reason
stance.
why.
You're predicating your stance on maleness, right? But there's nothing about maleness that inherently makes somebody more apt to crime. That's the
You
problem.
even agree with that. You don't even agree with that. Again, do you think if male
I do
people
agree. There's nothing
were
about being male that makes
okay?
you more apt for crime.
Well, look, I'll prove it. I'll prove to you right now that you don't believe that. Okay? Do you believe that part of the reason why males are more aggressive to females is in virtue of the fact that they're raised in a particular way to view women in a particular light?
That could be part of reasons, sure.
Okay, okay.
But
And
it's
why are
not
they, and they're
predicated on
raised,
being
and you
male.
would,
It doesn't,
wait, you would,
there's
well,
nothing
yeah,
about
because,
being male
wait,
that
look,
makes me
let me prove
more
this to you real
apt for
quick. Let
crime.
me prove this to you. Look, let me just land my plane, okay? Presumably, if these people were born female, then they wouldn't be raised in this way. But because they are born male, they are raised in this way. Therefore, being male has a lot to do with it. And then when we talk about biologically, do males, or is there some trait in males that makes them more,
Okay,
prone to commit?
so if there
Holy
was a
shit,
group of
dude.
males, so
Holy
if there were a
shit.
group
Well,
of
let me
males,
finish.
no,
Let
no,
me
no,
finish.
this is an
Let me.
important question because it collapses
Oh
in
my
your whole
god, dude. He
argument,
can't
right?
control. Can't control himself.
If there was a
He
group of
can't control
males
himself. He can't.
who had zero
Let
level
me
for crime,
finish.
would you allow them in the restroom with you? If we found a
That what?
demographic of males who had no propensity for crime, would you allow them in your changing room?
What do you wait? Is it like foreseeable that they'll like hurt us, or
Yeah,
is it the
they have
case
no
that
propensity for harm. Yeah,
this group of
yeah,
males? I
yeah.
mean, I wouldn't want to say that like they can come into a public women's space in virtue of the fact that I understand that I don't consent for other women. But like for me personally, if it's my bathroom and I'm the only person in there, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have much of a contention with it. So far as
Okay,
they weren't
great.
like sexualizing
You
me
would
in
be
some
okay with
way.
males. So you would be okay with males in the women's changing room. Uh, so it's
No,
not
not
about
changing
sex.
rooms.
It's not
No,
about sex.
bathrooms.
Here you go
Bathrooms.
again.
No, bathrooms.
You're contradicting
No,
yourself
no,
again,
no,
right? Because before you said it's
no,
about sex, now
no.
you're saying it's
That's
not
not a
about sex.
contradiction.
Then you said it's about crime. Now it's not about
No,
crime.
no. Hold on. First of all, I'm talking about in regards to a bathroom, not a changing room, right? I wouldn't want to be
We were
around
talking about
men.
changing rooms. Okay, make it a
Okay, well,
bathroom.
if
Same
it's in
thing.
regards to changing rooms, then no, obviously not.
Okay, make it a bathroom. Would you allow males if they
Okay,
had no
bathroom.
No
I
crime.
don't consent for other women, but look, if it's just me in there, then I probably wouldn't be like as uncomfortable as I would be with anybody else.
Oh, so the reason why you don't want them is because you feel uncomfortable.
Well, I mean,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh. So if you felt uncomfortable if black
So
people went in, would that make it okay to stop them from
I
black
told you
people from
why this
taking
is
the piss?
disanalogous. Look, the reason I'd be uncomfortable is
What's
in
the
virtue of the
reason why
fact
you
that,
don't want them there? You're saying
oh
because you're
my God.
uncomfortable with them.
Yeah, yeah, but the reason why I'm uncomfortable is because, I mean, like, they could be like sexualizing me or something. I mean, and that would make me like
So
very
can
uncomfortable.
females
But
do that? Wait, so can females do that?
yeah, but females aren't as predisposed to this, I think. Who do you think's more okay? Who do you think's more likely to get turned on by hearing me like piss, dude? Do you think it's gonna be men or women, males or
Nobody.
females?
Ew.
Wait, you don't think
Turned
the piss
on.
counts exist?
Turned on from taking a piss.
Yes.
What?
Wait, why is
Who
this
gets
like?
turned on from hearing piss? What?
You don't think the
What
piss
are you
counts exist? Are
talking
you
about?
serious?
I don't want to know what what you're. I don't know what the hell you're coming from. I don't know what kind of sexuality you got, but
Dude,
I've
I
never
never
heard of
said
that
anything about
before.
my own personal sexuality, but look, it seems like the majority of people who are into shit like that is gonna be males, right?
Ooh, I got turned on. It
That's
doesn't
literally
happen.
true.
It doesn't
That's
happen.
true. Wait, you don't think people
Are you
get
getting
turned on
turned
by
on?
piss? Are you fucking serious?
Are you getting turned on?
You understand that there's people who get turned on by kids? I doubt that saying that some people get turned on
This
by
is
piss is that fucking hard to
absurd. Come
believe.
on.
That's not absurd.
There's no reason why we shouldn't allow them in the restroom. They're taking a piss. That's all. Let them
Well,
be.
look, that's my reason. I don't care if you think that that's like a funny boundary to laugh at or that's something that's like you can ridicule, but I mean, that's like the reality of it, right? I mean, men will sexualize everything that women do.
But not trans women necessarily, right? You can't blanket. You can't say that all men do all males do this because some males do it or an average male does it.
I'm not, wait, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that in virtue of the fact that a lot of males do this, we should be precautious about all of them. Do you understand that it's all
Yeah, but
men
again, if we could
movement?
apply the standard to
Okay, so I'm
females,
just
if we apply
applying
the standard to
that.
females, right? If females got turned down from taking a piss, you would still allow them in your restroom.
Well, it's not that, like, I'm not saying that this is a reason to kick them out. I'm saying that this is why I'd be uncomfortable because they could be gang off to
Oh,
me,
I
like,
agree. Okay,
doing
then we
something,
agree.
like,
Then we agree. Then you can feel uncomfortable, but that doesn't
okay,
mean they shouldn't be taking a piss, right? So
well, yeah, but,
you're not
like, just to be
motivating the
clear, the
claim that
case
we
that you
shouldn't
gave
allow
me of
them.
males, yeah, but the case that you gave me of males being, like, these males being allowed in female spaces is because they can't commit crimes or they're not going to, and we have epistemic knowledge to this. And if that's true, then, I mean, yeah, the other reasons why I'd be concerned about them being in my space is in virtue of the fact that they're probably, like, violently sexualizing me. I mean, I'm half naked in a stall that they're around. I mean,
You're half naked in the stall, so that means
like,
what?
yeah,
Like, why
and,
does that
like,
matter? Like, how does that matter?
well,
Females can be violent.
well,
Females
yeah,
can
but
assault you.
that's the reason why I'm saying it makes me uncomfortable.
But you can be uncomfortable, but that's not a reason to stop somebody from taking a piss, right?
You can be uncomfortable. Well, look, in this case, I agree, but
I
that's
get
obviously not
uncomfortable in the fucking
reflective.
men's room. Sometimes I get really uncomfortable. There's some weird ass man in there. I get uncomfortable.
Why would you
That
get
doesn't mean we should
uncomfortable in the
stop him
men's
from
room?
being in the restroom. Sir, you can't
Why
take
would
a
you get
piss. You
uncomfortable?
look
Wait,
too
why would you
weird.
get uncomfortable? Why would you get uncomfortable in the men's room?
Because men are fucking gross, usually. Especially in the restroom.
Why do you think? Wait, why do you think males are gross?
Because they are
You
usually
think it's
gross
social
in the
conditioning?
restroom. They're loud, they're
Do you
gross,
think?
they're
Do you
nasty. They
think?
don't.
Do you think? Do you think that that engages in my question in a meaningful way?
Oh my
Why
gosh,
do you
it
think it is
doesn't
that men are?
matter. The point you're missing is that just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to take a piss.
Okay, look, in the cases I gave you, I agree, but Look, that's not the average case, and that's certainly
Okay,
not
great.
reflective of the average trans-identifying male.
Great. So, what's your next point?
Well, yeah, I mean, would you like to investigate my definition of female?
Not really. I just want you to explain to me why trans women are not women. You're just saying they're not
Because
because
they're
by
not
definition.
female.
But I already explained to you gender identity and how we all have one, and
Yeah, I don't
why
think
a
gender
better
identity is
definition
the
is
kind of thing
mine.
that
My
like
definition is just better. It's just better at encapsulating everybody. Your definition fails to account for everybody.
okay, you're not understanding like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that just because somebody has a gender identity doesn't mean that we ought to affirm them as such, or they're correct in saying that they're a woman in virtue of this
Their
gender
gender identity
identity.
is what makes them women or men. It's their identity. That's what makes you a
Okay.
man, just like your
Why should
sexual
I take
identity.
it to be? Can you tell me why I should take it to be the case that
We
in
already went
virtue
over
like we
this.
should wait, no, I'm asking a different question now. Why should I take it to be the case that women is defined by their gender identity, which is often rooted in misogynistic stereotypes perpetuated by the patriarchy
Oh
surrounding
yeah, yeah.
women?
What's a
Okay, I don't know you
stereotype? Go ahead.
anyway.
What's a stereotype?
Wait, let me finish. Hold on.
Yeah, what's a stereotype? Go ahead. Explain to us.
Wait, hold on, I'm not finished. So why should I take this view of what a woman is rather than our biology?
Oh my gosh, gender has biological components. So your question is malformed. Number two,
Okay, then I
my
mean our
definition
sex,
better
obviously.
encapsulates
I'm
every
sorry that you
person
lack
because it
social
actually accounts
cues.
for their sense of self, which is what transcends our sex. So again,
Wait,
what's
can
the
you repeat that?
stereotype you're
Sorry.
referring to?
You need
What
to
is the
repeat
stereotype?
that. Yeah, can you repeat that? I didn't hear.
Your gender identity transcends your sex. Why? Because if I were to remove your sex, you're still a woman. If I were to remove my penis, I'm
You
still
can't
a
remove
man. If I
somebody's
were to
you can't
remove
remove
all my
somebody's
testes, if I were to remove my testicles, I'm still a man. Come
well,
from
yeah,
here, not
because
down there.
you could still be male absent your testicles, right?
Yeah, if you remove my entirety of my sex organs, I'm still a man.
If you remove the entirety of your sex organs.
I'm still a
Wait,
man. I'm still a man.
so you're saying like remove all of your chromosomes as well?
Chromosomes do not determine your sex.
Yeah, not simplicator, but it certainly plays a role.
Right. So
Obviously.
chromosomes are not, they can be ambiguous. Let's say I have both XX and XY, right? Like the point is that you can
Okay,
remove
wait.
all these sexually disambiguous traits and I'm still a man. Why? Because it's here. I would still want to be a man. I would still want to be treated like a man, called a he, not a she,
Well, what does a
regardless of
man
what's down there.
mean? What does it mean to be a man in that like under that worldview, under that
It
definition?
means your identity aligns to the male archetype.
Okay, and can you give me some examples of this?
Yeah, short hair, aggressive, um, leadership, beard,
Wait, you think that the male
sports.
archetype is to be a leader?
Yeah, I think it's expected, or the roles are that men are supposed to have is more leadership.
Do you think that we ought to view men that way?
No, I'm not making a normative claim. I'm
Well,
saying
yeah,
this is
I'm
how
not
I'm
saying that
making a
you are.
descriptive
I'm
claim.
asking you. Yeah, I'm not saying that you are, but look, it seems like everything that you're saying is kind of problematic. Well, I think that it's kind of
Again,
problematic
you're
because
sitting here saying it's
under
misogynistic or it's stereotypical, but I'm not stereotyping. It's not a stereotype because I'm not saying that men must do this. I'm saying it's a typicality. It's an archetype. You know
that's
what an
not how I
archetype
define a
is?
stereotype.
Yeah, what's a
That's not how I
stereotype?
define a
What's
stereotype.
a stereotype?
Yeah, I think a stereotype is just going to be like an unjust belief about a group of people,
But
right?
what makes it
In
unjust?
virtue of some trait that they all share. Yeah, so like for example, right? I think it wouldn't be a stereotype for me to say that black people have darker skin, right? Because that's obviously true and that's obviously just for me to say that. But I think what is a stereotype is me saying that,
Well, it is
black
a
people.
stereotype because not all black people have dark skin.
Okay, but it addresses like the majority of them, right?
Ah,
So it
typicalities.
wouldn't be, well, it wouldn't be false for me to say that,
Ah,
right?
exactly. So it's typical that men have beards, right? Not all of them, but it's
Mm,
typical.
I don't think it's the majority of men have. I don't know. It seems
It's
like
a
there's a big
typical expectation that men wear beards. It's a typical expectation
wear
that men
beards.
are leaders. It's a typical expectation that men are husbands. They refer to as he, not she. These are just typical gendered features that build the
Yeah,
male
but
archetype.
like, would you agree that some of these like perceptions about what it means to be a woman, or these ones that are typically associated with being like or the female archetype, I guess you could say, would you not agree that those are in some cases misogynistic and regressive?
How are they misogynistic?
Well, I can give you some examples if you'd
Go
like.
ahead, give me an example.
So I'm assuming that you would say something like a woman, somebody who would typically wear makeup, right? But then when we look at the history behind that and why women wear makeup, then that's heavily misogynistic, right? It's heavily rooted in patriarchy.
What? Wait, you think wearing makeup is misogynistic to say that women typically wear makeup? How is that
No, what I'm saying
misogynistic?
is that what I'm saying is that the whole idea and the whole reason why makeup was even invented is in virtue of misogynistic underlinings and pushed by patriarchy, right? Obviously that's true. Are you serious? Do
Okay,
you think that
explain to
beauty
me.
standards are
Explain to
yeah.
me how makeup is rooted in patriarchy.
Well, do you think that
No,
beauty
well,
standards are
actually,
patriarchal?
better yet, explain to us why that matters today, right? Because women obviously freely wear makeup today. It's not rooted in patriarchy
Well,
today.
not necessarily, but we can get to that in a second. But you would agree that beauty standards are patriarchal, right?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of women just wear makeup
What?
because they want to. A lot of women
No,
wear
I'm
makeup because
talking
they just
about
want
like
to.
no. Holy shit,
Wait, you
dude.
think
Holy
women
shit.
wear
Okay.
makeup just because they want to make other people feel
Well,
good or make men feel good?
I think the reason why women like have a desire to wear makeup is because it's kind of ingrained into us that if we don't look pretty and perfect, then it devalues us, right? I mean, that's obviously true.
Okay.
Like, have you heard of the Black Pill movement
But
at
this,
all?
look, you can say this about everything, right? You can say, oh, well, deep down,
Well,
wearing
no,
beards
well,
is like that because it's just making us
well,
feel good.
that's not a beauty standard, right? That's not a beauty standard for a man to have a
Well,
beard,
to
but
be tall, right? Being
regardless,
tall is a beauty standard for men, right? And so you can say, well, it's rooted in matriarchy that we have to be tall for the woman, right? It's like you can do all this nonsense,
that's
but
not
at
the
the end of the day,
matriarchy
there's
doesn't
no.
exist. You're delusional. But okay, I can give you some more examples. So that's like where like the underlie like the um misogynistic underpinnings of makeup is and the beauty standards. The fact that you even rejected that that's patriarchal is obviously like insane in
Yeah,
itself. But
I'm not convinced that wearing makeup is misogynistic. I think it's just even
no,
though.
I'm not saying that that's misogyn. Look, now you're strawmanning, guys.
Well,
Like
okay,
this is like
okay.
a
Let me
major
clarify.
misrepresentation of
I'm
people.
not convinced that the idea that women typically wear makeup is misogynistic because it's merely descriptive, right? It's just
Wait,
something
you don't think
we
descriptive
observe.
things? Wait, you don't think that something we
We're
observe can
not.
be like
The reason why
patriarchal or
what would
misogynistic?
be
What? Are
no
you
what
serious?
yeah what
Okay,
would
wait,
be
then I don't know why you would say
misogynistic?
that to say that it's not misogynistic.
Hold on.
Like, you can't control
What would be
this thing.
misogynistic? What would be
It's me,
misogynistic? What would be misogynistic if I were to say women must wear makeup or women should be wearing makeup? That would be wrong. But all we're doing is
holy
saying
shit. Is there
women
something that
typically
like
wear makeup, right? It's an observation. It's not
no
meant in
dude.
ill intent, right? It's meant to say here, this is what we observe.
Okay, look, I'm not saying that that is misogynistic. What I'm saying is that these things that you're contributing to the definition of a woman gender identity has misogynistic underpinnings, and that's obviously true. I've just
No,
displayed that to
because we're
you.
building an archetype, right? An archetype is merely a model. We're not stereotyping because we're not saying all women must do this. We're not perpetuating
I'm
the
not saying
patriarchy
that.
by saying that women
No,
wear
you
makeup.
are.
How?
I
How
can
are we
tell you why you're
perpetuating
being.
it? How are we
Yeah,
perpetuating it?
yeah, because you're not a gender abolitionist, and that
What?
perpetuates the
What?
patriarchy.
How is it perpetuating patriarchy to say that women typically wear
Because you're
makeup? Just
perpetuating
descriptively. Just
gender.
descriptively.
Do you think that it's patriarchal? This idea that
Wait,
like,
can you answer the question? Can you answer the
well,
question?
no, like okay, like it seems like okay, this idea of, girls wear pink and boys wear blue is something that's heavily patriarchal, right? And that's exactly what you're doing when you define women by this
Again, you can describe it as
archetype, right?
patriarchal, but that does not mean that the descriptive use of the word or the phrase is misogynistic. See, you're making
Well, what I'm
this is a non
saying is that,
sequitur to say that
why should
because
we?
it's this action is rooted in patriarchy, that means the archetype is misogynistic. That's a non sequitur.
Okay, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. What I'm saying is that your definition heavily relies on expectations of women that have been pushed on us from the
But
patriarchy
yeah,
since
but
almost
nobody's
the beginning.
pushing these on you. Nobody's pushing them on
Well,
you
yeah,
just by
because
describing them.
presumably, if we remove all of these things, right? If we remove, all of the feminine traits from a woman, it seems you would say that she's no longer a woman, right?
No.
Okay, but then what would make her a woman if
It's
we
not
strip all of
just
these
the
traits back from her?
expectations, right? It's not just
Okay,
the
then what is
expectation.
it? Is it just
It's
a
a
desire to be
myriad,
aligned with them?
it's like a whole cluster of traits, right? We're talking about like social traits, behavioral traits, physical traits,
But
psychological
then this
traits.
just perpetuates this idea.
There's like thousands of them, right? And so we're
But
not
this just
saying
but the, but this just perpetuates the idea that women behave in a
okay,
different way than men in virtue of the fact that they're women.
okay. So when you wear makeup, that means you're contributing to the patriarchy.
Well, yeah, and I'm not proud of that.
Okay, great.
I,
So why can't we? If you're doing it, why
this
can't
is
we?
do you know what an appeal to hypocrisy fallacy is? Do you know what that is?
Oh, okay. So you think
Wait, do you know what that is? Yes or no? That's a dodge.
yeah, I know what it is, but it doesn't apply here because you're
Oh,
saying
well, that's
that
what you're
it's
doing, right? You're
wrong.
saying,
Well,
oh, well, you
actually,
do this thing that's patriarchal, therefore I'm going to do this thing
first
that's
of all, you haven't
patriarchal.
shown us actually that the archetype is perpetuating the patriarchy. You haven't really shown us that. I'm not convinced of
I
your
give you
argument.
an
You have to
example.
give me
I
an
can give
argument.
you more. I mean, I can give you some more examples. I mean, if that's what you're asking me to
Yeah, give an
do.
example of how merely building an archetype means we're perpetuating the patriarchy.
Yeah, because what you're defining a woman at, these traits that you're associating with womanhood are, again, pushed on women by the patriarchy.
But nobody's pushing them.
Well, you are when you define women by these traits.
We're not defining women by those traits.
Okay, I asked you for trait examples of a female archetype.
Do you not
And you said
understand what
things
an
like long
archetype?
hair
Do you know
and
what an
makeup.
archetype is? Do you know what an archetype is?
Yeah, you said it's just building a model.
Right. Now, do you think models define all people in that category? Or is it just a mere model?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that?
Do you think the model defines every person in that category, or is it just a mere model?
A mere, yeah, a mere model.
Great. So we're not defining
that
women
doesn't mean
by.
that you're
We're
not.
not
That doesn't mean
defining
that it
women.
isn't.
That's why it's not misogynistic, because we're not defining women by you ought to wear makeup or you must wear makeup. We're not doing that. We're not defining women by any of those traits
But you're defining
alone.
women as a model that engages in these patriarchal behaviors, and that seems aggressive in a society where we ought
No,
to
we're
strive
not
away from
defining
those.
women at all by just these traits, right?
Okay,
We're
you
building a
said to me.
model
Okay,
of what
look, you said
typical
to me.
traits could be.
You said to me earlier. You said that a woman is somebody who fits the female archetype. I asked you what the female archetype was. You told me that an archetype was a model, and when I asked you for examples of this, you said things like having long hair. You said things like wearing makeup, things of that nature. True or false?
Yep.
Okay, that's obviously rooted in misogyny, dude. Like, I don't know how else to relay this information to you.
Yeah, you're not making them, you're not motivating that, right? You're just saying it's misogynistic, but you're not showing me how a mere description is misogynistic.
Do you not think that descriptions can be misogynistic?
On their own, no.
Okay, so if I say
There'd
that
have to be a normative, there'd have to be a
so
normative
if someone
claim.
asked me, if a woman asked me to define a woman, and I say that a woman is a living sex doll who's here to serve men, you don't think that that's misogynistic?
Well, now you're implying a normativity there,
Okay,
right?
no,
See that
Wait,
description.
how does that imply normativity?
Let's be
Imply
clear
normativity,
here.
you're
That
just
description was implying a normative view that they're supposed to be sex dolls, right?
Okay, wait, what if we just strip that back? What if I just say, someone asked me to define woman and I say a woman is a living sex doll for men to use? Okay,
Yeah,
there's no normativity
that
there.
implies normativity.
Okay,
right?
where is the ought
So,
place? Where's the
see,
ought
in the
place
context
there?
of
Where's the
gender,
ought? Wait,
see, in
where's
the
the ought?
context, see, the
Yeah,
difference
tell
is
me
in
where
the,
the ought is.
yeah, and
Tell me where the
the
ought
difference
is.
is in the context of the gendered archetypes, we're not saying they ought or they must do this. We're building a model of what a typical woman might be like. We're not saying that they ought or must do these things to be women. That's the difference between your definition and mine.
Okay, where was the ought in my definition, please?
Well, it's implicit.
Okay, where? What do you mean it's
When you
implicit?
say that
Where's the
they're living
ought?
sex dolls, that implies that that's what they are. They're just supposed to be sex dolls.
Yeah, and when you say a woman, is somebody who fits the female archetype, you're implying that that's what they are. Hello?
But there's no stereotype in the archetype. It's an archetype, not a stereotype.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay, wait, what if okay, then let's just say okay, a woman is somebody who is a member of the female archetype, and what the female archetype is a sex doll for men to use and abuse
That
as
would
they
be, yeah,
please.
that would be misogynistic because
Okay,
you're
wait, so then
implying an
definitions
ought
can be
that they ought be
wait,
this
you just
way.
contradicted yourself.
And
You just contradicted
archetypes,
yourself. You just contradicted yourself. You just contradicted yourself. Hello?
no, I
Yeah,
didn't. The
descriptive.
archetype
Yes,
would not be
descriptions
based on
can.
one
Yeah,
feature.
descriptions can. Descriptions can and cannot be misogynistic. That's the contradiction.
No.
That's the
So
yes. That's a
in the case,
contradiction. That's a P and a not P.
what you just
You P and not P
raised.
yourself. That's a contradiction. You just contradict.
Let me
Like there's
explain. Calm
170.
down, sir. Calm
You
down,
just
sir.
contradicted yourself.
Calm down. What you
In
just
fact, you're just implying
described,
that
an
transsexuals will
archetype
unalive
is
themselves.
not defined by
Like their
one trait.
pronouns.
The reason why it doesn't work is because an archetype is not defined by one trait. Right?
Yeah, you need to rectify the
That's why what you just
contradiction.
invoked doesn't work here. An archetype is defined by multiple typicalities, not just one descriptive thing.
Yeah, so again, that this doesn't rectify the contradiction, right? You asserted
It
that
does. An
descriptions
archetype
cannot
is
be.
you
Yeah.
did not invoke an archetype.
What
You
doesn't?
invoked a
I did. I said
stereotype.
you dumb. Oh my god, dude. There's no way that you weren't like. Okay, I said that a woman is somebody who fits the female archetype, and what that is to be a living sex doll for men. That's invoking the archetype. You still
That's
said that
not
was
an archetype.
misogynistic.
That's a
That's a
stereotype. That's not
contradiction.
an archetype. That's a stereotype.
Okay, tell me the difference between an archetype and a stereotype, please.
You don't know?
Well, I have my own definition of
Your
both.
definition's bad. Okay, stereotype is an overgeneralization, right? It's an oversimplification about
It's
a
what? Wait, you cut
demographic.
out.
Usually,
You
hold
cut out.
on,
I don't know what you said.
hold on.
You
Let me
know what you
finish.
said. You should repeat yourself.
A stereotype is an oversimplification of a demographic based on usually has a negative connotation to it, right? It makes no room for exceptions. An archetype is a model based on typicalities
Yeah,
that
there's
does
a
make room
negative
for
connotation
exceptions.
in your definition.
Your
There's a
definition is
negative
not an archetype. Your definition is a stereotype.
So was yours.
No, because my archetype
Yes,
is
it
built
is.
on typicalities. We're not saying that women are sex dolls. By the way, we don't say that women is the archetype, right? What we're saying
That's
is
still a contradiction.
being a woman isn't the
Still
identity that
contradicting
aligns to
yourself.
this archetype.
Wait, repeat that.
We're not saying woman is an archetype. We're saying that a woman is
Yeah, I asked you what woman was, and you said
an
it was a
identity
female
that aligns
archetype.
to the
Hello?
archetype.
You contradicted yourself again. Holy shit. You peed and not peed yourself twice, dude. You better go change those pants. Holy shit. You peed and not
What?
peed yourself.
What are you
A woman
talking
is
about?
okay. Yeah, you peed and not peed yourself.
It's an identity, not an archetype.
Proposition and its negation. You did that
So
twice. Go change your pants and then come back.
being a woman is not just an archetype, it's an identity.
Okay. I asked you what woman was. You said that a woman is, somebody who represents the female archetype, right?
No,
So
I didn't
that's
say
you
that.
said.
I did not say that.
Shouldn't
You're
you?
mistaken. A woman is somebody, an adult person whose identity aligns to the female archetype. I didn't say a woman is an archetype.
It's indexed to an archetype, correct?
No.
Also, that's not what you said.
It's an
You're just like,
identity that
again, we're
aligns
just
to an archetype.
goalpost
That's what it is. That's what
We're
a
just
woman
goalpost
is.
shifting again. We're just goalpost shifting again.
No, you're just not listening.
Like, and then I'll ask you what the female archetype is, and then you'll just give me like you'll just give me misogynistic things that have been pushed
You
upon women
can't
by
just say they're
patriarchy.
misogynistic without giving the argument as to why.
I gave you arguments as to why. Okay, right, makeup. Would you like me to go over the argument as to why makeup is pushed
No,
on women by
we're not
patriarchy?
making
No,
a
no.
normative claim. When we say makeup, we're not making a normative claim. We're not saying that makeup
I'm not
must.
suggesting that you
We're not
are.
saying that women must wear makeup or they ought to wear makeup or that's all
I'm
they
not saying
are.
that you are, but what I'm
Great.
saying is that
So then you would agree that an archetype is different from saying, oh, a female archetype is just a sex doll. That's a complete stereotype because you're not making any room for exceptions. My archetype is making room for exceptions.
look, let me just ask you that. How many traits need to be met of this female archetype in order for
Now you're pivoting. Now you're
someone to
moving on to
consider
this
dating?
view. Okay.
Well, look, we've
There's no
been talking
specific
about this
number of
for 15
traits.
minutes now, and it's just unproductive. So
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's no number of traits that you have to meet to be
Is
a
it an
woman.
intrusive threshold? Is it an intrusive threshold?
Yeah, you can say it's you can parse it out various ways, right? You can take a majority, you can take a weighted
How are you cashing it
category,
out?
you can take a prototypical approach. There's all kinds of ways
How are you
to
cashing
do
it
that.
out? How are you cashing
I'm
it out?
agnostic as to which one is the best, but usually I do weighted category, right? So
So
for
that's
example,
majority.
pronouns, I would say pronouns
So
are like the big are very heavily weighted, right? So
your
calling
pronouns
myself.
determine if you're a woman?
Yeah, when somebody has that inner sense that they should be called a he, not a she, that's a very good indicator of their gender.
So just to be clear, if a human
But
prefers to
there's
go
more to
by
it. It's not just that, though.
wait,
Obviously, there's more to the archetype.
wait, let me just ask you that. So if it's the case that somebody wishes to be called she, her pronouns, then that's sufficient to say that they're a woman?
No, it's not. Again, if you were listening, that's not going to be sufficient. Sufficiency is going to be met by various different traits. We're talking hundreds.
Okay, look, can I just give you my reductio?
Your reductio?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just say, like, are you familiar with autogynephilia?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that we have a man who is an autogynephile, and let's say that his when he's in this mode of, exhibiting his sexual fantasies, he meets your female archetype like to the T, right? He meets that threshold. Would you say that that person's a woman?
Only if their identity aligns to that archetype. If their identity
What if their
doesn't,
identity?
they're not a woman if their identity doesn't align to it. This
What
is
if their
not a. You think this is a
identity?
reductio? What are you talking
Wait,
about?
what if their identity aligns with it for some sexual gratification?
If
Are
their
they still
identity
are they a woman?
aligns, sexual gratification can't be an identity, right? Do you understand? There's different levels of how the
I'm not
brain
saying
works.
that it is. I'm saying that they
Okay,
only align
great.
with the
So then
gender
your
identity
reductio
for some
doesn't fucking
sexual.
work. Your reductio is nonsense. It's
No,
gibberish.
you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I
Look, what I'm
am.
saying is this person's gender identity is aligned with the female archetype for
Then they're a
sexual
woman. Then they're a
gratification. Sexual
woman.
gratification. Okay, then this person's a woman. Okay, so just to be clear, a male person with a fetish for dressing up as a woman is a woman, correct? In this case.
No, what? That doesn't. No, that doesn't follow. No, I didn't say that.
You just said that they're a woman. You just said that they're a woman.
Let's be clear. Let me say it again.
You just said that they're a woman.
All right, let me say it again. Somebody is a woman if their gender identity aligns to the female archetype. Nothing about fetishes was spoken. No, notice I didn't mention fetishes.
Okay, we have a man. He is an autogynephile, and his gender identity aligns with this for the sole purpose of obtaining sexual gratification. Is he a woman?
Your gender identity there's no such thing as aligning to that gratification. That doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about?
Okay, like when you say gender identity, you told me earlier that all that you mean by that is a desire to be an alignment.
No, it's not a desire. No. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, then define gender identity again.
A deep internal sense of who you are.
Okay, and they have this because they're
it's innate. It's wired into the brain.
Okay, wait, let's just say that that's present in this guy. Is he a woman?
If his gender identity is woman, he's a woman.
Okay, and the gender identity of woman just means that. Okay, and he just he has this internal sense of self just in virtue of the fact that it brings him sexual gratification. He's still a woman, right?
What does that mean? You have identity in the virtue of the fact that it gives you gratification. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so he has
An
this sense of
identity is deeply
belonging.
rooted. All right, so let me explain to you that identity is neurobiologically rooted, right? It doesn't, it's not, gratification is a conscious thing. It's a feeling. But when it comes to identity, it's not conscious. It's unconscious. So these are two different categories of things. This is a category mistake.
Well, are you saying this is a category error?
Yes, it's a category mistake.
Is that the same thing as a category error?
Yeah, an error is a mistake. Yes, they're the same thing.
Okay, look, I was just clarifying.
Okay.
Holy shit, dude. You should need to be bad faith. Okay, what's the argument that's a category error?
Because a gratification is a feeling, and identity is not a feeling. It's a.
You said it's a sense of self. I take a sense to be a feeling. I think that's a colloquial use of the term.
No,
as well.
indeed, it's a deep internal sense that's wired into the brain. Gratification doesn't have
when
those
we say
properties.
sense, yeah, when we say sense in society, colloquially, what we mean by that is a feeling, right?
Okay, do you think sexuality is just a feeling?
Yeah.
Really? So you're not actually straight, you just feel like it. Correct?
Well, no, I feel a sexual attraction. Well, no, I feel a sexual attraction towards men. Yeah.
Okay, but that attraction, that identity as a straight person isn't just a feeling. Do you agree? You don't wake up tomorrow and
I can't conceptualize what else it could be.
Do you wake up like certain days of the week and you're bi, and then certain days you're straight, and then certain days you're gay? Is that how this happens?
It's a feeling that persists. Well, it's a feeling that persists through time, right?
Ah, exactly, just like gender identity. It persists.
Yeah, it's still a feeling.
Time.
Yeah, it's still a feeling though. What?
No, it's an identity. It's rooted in the brain. It's wired into the structuring of your brain. You can't shake it off. It's immutable. Feelings are immutable. They change. They ebb and flow, right? I can feel sad and then happy the next moment. But gender identity and sexual identity are both immutable. They don't change. They're rooted in your brain.
Yeah, but that manifests itself as a feeling, right?
It can manifest just like just like your sexual identity as a straight person can manifest as a feeling of attraction for somebody with the opposite sex. But your identity is deeper than just your attraction, right? Your sexual identity is deeper than just your attraction.
Okay, look, if that's what you meant by your question, then yeah, like I suppose that would make sense. But look, when you asked me,
thank you.
If like the only reason that, well, I mean, you assumed I was straight. The only reason I'm straight is in virtue of a feeling. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously, that's the only reason why I know I'm straight. Because presumably, if I didn't feel, then I would have no sexuality.
Feelings are the conscious manifestation.
You can understand where that came. So then you can understand where that came from, right?
Yeah, but feelings are the conscious manifestations of your gender identity, but your gender identity in itself is not a conscious manifestation. It is unconscious.
Well, I'm just yet to be convinced that gender identity is the kind of thing that we should uphold in society. Not uphold.
So then let me ask you this.
Deem to be true.
If I removed your sex, would you no longer be a woman?
I don't think you can remove my sex. I don't think that's metaphysically
possible. If we could remove your sex, make it ambiguous.
I don't think that's metaphysically possible.
Oh,
you understand that?
Why not?
Well, yeah, it seems like it's impossible to remove every single chromosome in my body.
Why is it impossible?
Yeah, because it seems like at that point I'd no longer be Lola, right?
Why not? You just have different. You just have different chromosomes.
If Lola is not a female person, then Lola is not Lola, right?
What? You think you change who you are because you have a different sex? No, your identity is still the same.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be Lola anymore. Obviously, like what? Well, you think if
just because you have different chromosomes, you'd be a different person? How?
Well, I'd be in a different body, and I'm an animalist, so. Like, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, you'd be in a different body, but your identity up here would be the same.
Yeah, Yeah, but I'm an animalist, so yeah, it wouldn't be me. Much like how if me and you swap bodies right now, I would say that I'm Mike. What's your name? Mike
But your
Burgandy. I
brain,
wouldn't say that
okay, if
I'm
I took
Lola.
your head and I transplanted it onto my body, it would be weird as
Yeah,
fuck.
I'd be you.
Yeah, but you would still have the sense that you're Lola up in the head,
Doesn't matter.
right?
I'd be you though. That's the rational belief. Like I told you, I'm an
Okay, but
animalist.
you would still have the identity of Lola.
No, I would. What? What do you mean have the identity of Lola?
You would consider yourself Mike, and you would want to be
Yeah, I
you would be
just said
attracted
that.
you'd be attracted to men to girls.
Holy Freudian slip, dude. Oh my gosh, that's ballistic. They're gonna clip your ass for that. Wait, would I be happy if I was a no,
You would
fuck
want to
no.
be a
Holy shit.
husband, and you'd be attracted to women. You would want to be a husband. You'd want to wear a beard. No, of course not. You would
Well, I
still
wouldn't
be a
want to be
woman.
you,
You would
that's for
still be a
sure.
woman. You would still be a woman. You would still want to play. You would still want to do womanly roles, and you would still have your woman identity,
What
even
is
though
a
you had a
womanly
different
role?
body.
What's a womanly role?
Caregiver, nurturing.
This is just
Being
misogyny.
called. No, we're not saying all women must do this. It's just something that it's
Dude,
typical
this
of women
isn't
in
something.
society.
What do you mean it's typical? Do you mean it's most
It's
common?
Yeah, it's typical for women to be
So
nurturing
you
in
think
society.
the majority of women are, or okay, do you think that the majority of men are nurturing?
Not really.
Okay, wait, do you have any like empirics to back up that women are more
It's just
nurturing than
intuition.
men?
I don't
Wait,
think
what's the argument that intuition
men are
is
very
truth
nurturing.
tracking?
They're just just a different type of person.
Wait, what's the argument that intuitions are truth tracking?
What?
Yeah,
Intuition
look,
can
I
be truth
asked you
tracking.
what's the
Because
yeah,
our
what's the
intuitions
argument
can
for
be
that?
correct. Our intuitions can lead to truth.
Okay,
It can lead to
okay,
truth.
that just begs the question. Hello, that's question begging. What's the argument that intuitions are truth tracking? Or rather, let's just play this. No, let's just play this game. Okay, look, I have a
Oh my
different.
god.
Yeah, so I have a different intuition to you about this. So who's right?
You have an intuition about what?
Yeah, so I have a different intuition than you. If that's our standard of
Okay,
epistemology,
so you're intuiting that most men are nurturing. That just
yeah,
sounds
sure.
wrong. That just doesn't sound right.
Okay, look, you're okay. Can you just provide me with an argument that intuitions are
Wait a
truth
minute. This
tracking?
undermines your whole view about men being dangerous.
Wait, no, it doesn't. Hello.
Yes, it does. How could you be
Okay, even
nurturing
then. Okay,
and
wait, no.
dangerous?
Hold on. Wait, let me actually like try and relay this to you in a way that makes sense. So
See how it's not
when I
intuitive?
say when I say, oh, well, I have a different intuition, therefore, like, I mean, like, what do we do now? This doesn't necessarily mean I'm holding that to be like absolutely true, right? What I'm
Oh
saying
my
is that
god, you're
in regards
coping.
to
You're
this
just coping.
conversation, I'm waiting for an argument as to why intuitions are truth tracking.
Because they lead to truth. They can lead to truth in the case
That's
of
just
certain
question
don't
begging.
hold on, I wasn't finished. In certain
Okay, you still
domains, they
question
can lead
beg.
because intuitions include prior knowledge, right? Background knowledge. So intuitions can lead to truth because they are they include background information, right? And in certain
Okay, what's
domains,
the
they can be
background
more reliable
information?
than others, and
Wait,
especially in the case of gender, which is a
wait,
very human thing.
what's the background information that you're basing this intuition off of in regards
Experience,
to women being nurturing? So
experiences.
your own anecdotal bullshit? Okay, can you tell me why I should pay any credence to your anecdotal bullshit?
I think experiences are good reasons in the case of gender
You're
because
vegan,
we
right?
live
Wait,
out
in the case of
experiences
gender,
of
wait,
gender all the time.
we're not even talking about gender right now. You made the claim that women are more nurturing than men. Okay, I asked you for an argument for that. You said it's your intuition. I asked you the argument that
It's
intuitions are
something
truth
we
tracking.
observe.
You
It's
begged the
also
question for
observational.
Yeah, you begged the question 4 times. Okay, you're saying never. You're saying we observe it. Okay, show me some scientific source for this, please.
You
If
don't
we
need a
observe
scientific
it,
source for everything. Like, show me a scientific source that you're funny. right? It doesn't
Well,
make any
I never
sense.
made the I never made the
There are
claim
certain
that
domains that
I
don't
never made the
require
claim that I was
scientific
funny, so I
evidence. We
wouldn't
don't
have
need
to.
scientific evidence in every single domain.
Okay, well, look, it seems like if you're saying that this is something that you observe, right? It seems like that's something that scientists can also observe. And it seems like this is the kind of thing that we could observe through a randomized control trial, right? So please present the evidence.
You
Now
want
you're
a
just cold
randomized control
talking.
trial that women are typically nurturing and that men are typically
Yeah, to control for
dangerous?
variables, of course, yeah.
This is like pathetic. Like, no, we can just intuit
Oh, so
these things
okay.
that by
Do you know
observations
what?
and
Do you know
experiences.
what
Like, we
Hitch?
don't need
Do you know
science on it.
what? Okay. Do you know what Hitchens razor is?
Hitchens razor? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna invoke that. What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Anyways, moving on. But you're vegan, right? I promise it's
Where did
relevant.
that come
You're
from?
vegan.
Where did
No,
that
I
come from?
promise it's relevant. No, I
Where,
promise it's
that
relevant.
came from
You're
over there?
vegan, right?
Where did that come from? Yeah, I'm
That was a
vegan. Yeah,
question.
I'm
Okay.
vegan.
So I'm vegan. I'm vegan too, right? And I debate this topic quite a lot in my lives and stuff. And, I'm sure that you've had this experience as well, that meat eaters will come onto your live and make their own anecdotal claims surrounding, their health outcomes when they, follow a carnivorous diet, or their own anecdotal experiences when it comes to being, plant-based. I got very sick, things like that, right? I'm assuming that when people say this on your live, you know, call that out as being anecdotal
Yeah,
and
because there's
unreliable.
other
Yeah, you
knowledge that
pleaded to the same.
overrides
Yeah,
that,
because
right? There's
you
other
pleaded, but
knowledge
then
that
you pleaded to
overrides
the same
that,
standard
Lola,
of epistemology.
Lola. See how this
You
argument
pleaded
doesn't
to the
work?
same standard of epistemology just
No,
there.
it doesn't work
Yes,
there
you did, because
because
you brought up your own
no,
anecdotal
let
experiences.
me explain. So in the case of the vegan arguments, they don't work there because we have overriding knowledge that counters that. In the case of observations about gendered experiences, there is no overriding knowledge about that. And so we use our intuition. It's there because that's all we
Wait,
have is
what
observations and
about when?
experiences. We don't
What about
have
when you?
randomized
What
control
about
trials
when?
for personalities.
Okay. What about when you debate God, right? And people say, "Oh, well, I saw Jesus in my living room, and he came to me in a dream." You would dismiss that as being anecdotal bullshit, right? Yeah, you plead to the same standard of epistemology when you're
Ah.
pressed on something. How
The
do you explain
reason
that
why I
then?
reject those is because you're making an extraordinary claim that requires
Hmm.
more evidence
Yeah,
than
and
just
you're
I saw this. And from background
yeah,
knowledge,
and you're
it's
making the same
intuitive.
claim.
Hold on. From we have priors that show us that people often make mistakes when they see things. They often hallucinate, and so we can reject those claims in the case of people saying they saw Jesus or Bigfoot or unicorns. But in the
Well,
case of
no.
gender, it's far more experiences because that's all we have for these things.
Why is a man telling women that another man is a woman? I've been asking him this question for the past hour now. We're yet to get an answer, by the way. But yeah, no, look, you're okay. Presumably, absent all of this, you would still reject anecdotal evidence, right? Absent, the fact that people could
No,
be
actually,
delirious.
I don't always reject
Really?
anecdotal evidence. It only in most circumstances, yes, but not in all.
Okay,
Like for
but
example, if somebody
presumably,
said
if
I
we
was
let him
wearing a red
fulfill,
shirt, shh, Lola. If somebody said to me, "Oh, Mike, I was wearing a red shirt yesterday," I would take their word for it because there's no reason to lie about that, right? But if somebody said they saw Jesus with four heads, I wouldn't trust that because we have
there's
prior
reason to
knowledge.
lie. Yeah, but there's reason to lie that women are nurturing or naturally nurturing, though. You understand that, right?
There's
And the
no reason
reason
to lie
why.
about that.
Yeah, of
They're
course
just
there is.
nurturing.
And the
There's no
reason.
motivation to lie about that.
Well, look, I can give you reason why people would want to spread this lie that women are nurturing, and it's just gonna be in virtue of the fact that if we paint this idea that women are nurturing people, then they should probably, be the ones to raise the children, right? To nurture the children, right?
Yeah, women typically are caregivers.
Right. So yeah. So look, there's motivation as
What
to
is
why
your
people would
point
lie
here?
about
What is
that
your
as
point
well.
in all this?
Well, my point here is that you just fucking, pleaded to your own anecdotal bullshit to substantiate the claim that women are more nurturing than men, and It seems like you don't even
Wait,
grant
so you
that,
disagree
right?
that women are typically more nurturing? You disagree?
That's a burden shift.
That's a question. That's a question.
Yeah, that's still a burden
Wait,
shift. What?
do you disagree that women are typically more nurturing?
That's still a burden shift.
It's a
You made the
question. I'm just
claim.
asking you. I'm just asking you.
You
Do
need
you
to
agree? Do you think that women are more
you need
nurturing or not?
Yeah, that's another burden shift.
It's a question.
Yeah, which is a burden shift in this regard.
What? How am I shifting? What burden am I shifting?
Yeah, because yeah, oh my god. Okay, I asked you for evidence, right? That that female or women are more nurturing than men are, and you are now asking me if I reject that view.
Yeah, what burden am I shifting there? I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, your claim, you're shifting the
You just
burden
don't want
onto
to answer
you.
it. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, because look, if I engage in this, then like I don't want to fall into any more of your burden shifting, respectively. But like, I
Okay,
would just like
so
some evidence for the claim
okay,
that
so
you
can you just
made.
answer the question? Just to be honest, I mean, do you think that women are typically nurturing or they typically aren't?
What? I'm sorry, I got a phone call.
Are women typically nurturing? Do you agree?
It's just another burden shift. I'm not engaging in your burden, dude. I'm not gonna engage in this. Like, you're not gonna fucking get me. Like, maybe you could get some like dumb fuck, like 40-year-old like Christian to fall for your burden shifts, but not me. I'm stronger than that. Why do you keep
Right,
making that
right,
face like that? What
right,
did I say? What did
right,
I say
right.
this time?
That tracks for sure. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So, what now? What's your point?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should just go to closing statements.
Closing statements. What? This isn't some kind of formal
Yeah, like to wrap
discussion.
up a good faith
What do you think
debate.
this is? Like the debate stage of the world?
Does it
Like
have to
no.
be a formal discussion? I never said that. What? What, you don't think it's a good faith thing to do to,
Closing. All right, here's
maybe
my closing
recap?
statement. You did nothing to demonstrate your point. I fucking destroyed you. You happy?
Hey, can I give my closing statement now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is Mike. He's my interlocutor. I think that we had a pretty good conversation. For those of you who have been in here this whole time, you'll know this conversation took a very long time. We covered a lot of different topics. I think that I gave him motivation as to why we should accept my definition of a woman rather than his. He kind of failed to portray to me what it meant for somebody to have a female archetype and then like a woman's gender identity. It seems like, we had a lot of conversations surrounding the pragmatics of this discussion as well. We spoke about, who should be allowed in women-only spaces. I gave motivation against trans women being allowed in our spaces. We also spoke about brain scans and other studies that he claimed proved that were indicative of gender identity existing physically in the brain. But overall, I think this was a good faith conversation. I don't know who won. I mean, it seems like your fan base is very loyal. They've been shitting on me in the comments the whole time. But I think that, I think we had a really good conversation. I think that, yeah. Do you concur?
No, I
Why
don't
are you making
concur,
fun of
but
me
thank you.
again? Why are you being mean to me? What the heck? I didn't do anything. You made fun of my accent. Like, you're making fun of my voice now. Like, you're making fun
Oh
of the
yeah,
way I say
you
things.
never insulted me. You never insulted me during
Yeah,
discussion.
I called you a dumb
You're
fuck like 3
perfect.
times, but
Lola's
yeah,
perfect.
like, look, I'm sorry if I called you a dumb fuck. Like, I didn't mean that, but like, all is forgiven, okay?
You call me a dumb fuck.
Oh,
You call
and
me
I
a
did
lot of
call you.
words.
I called you a moid as well, but like that was kind of justified because you were acting like a
Right,
moid.
right, right. It's when you do it, it's justified. When I do it, it's wrong. Exactly.
I never said it's wrong for you to insult me. I just said, why do you keep insulting me?
Because it's not wrong. I'm justified.
Wait, do you think just because something's not wrong that it's okay? I mean, whatever. Anyways, look, let's get face conversation. Also, unblock me on my main account. One of your mods blocked me ages ago because she has like personal beef with me, but it was like years ago.
Okay, I'll address it, sir.
Okay, wait. Do you know what my main account is? Hold on, I'll put it in the chat. Okay. Uh,
We know who you are. We know who you are.
wait,
We
who
know
do you
you're
think I am
Rosella.
then? You know Rosella?
Yeah, I knew it the whole time.
Wait, do you think she's a high
Your
tier
accent
though?
is extremely peculiar.
Do you think that she's a high tier though? Like, to be honest.
You? Oh,
Yeah.
Rosella. Rosella, definitely not.
Rosella. Yeah,
You?
Rosella.
Definitely not.
What? Oh, okay. Well, anyways, unblock my main account. We should talk more about God and stuff. But oh wait, actually, I kind of want to. That's fine. Hold on, I'll just stop yapping. But wait.
I'm waiting. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, wait. Do you know what carnivore culling is?
Yeah.
What's your stance on that?
Well, I don't think it's a good argument because veganism is not about being perfect or eliminating all suffering. It's about doing what's
Yeah, okay,
practicable.
right. Unblock me on my main. Yeah, unblock me on my main account. We can debate at some later point. Anyways, look, I got to go. It's late here. I'm going to sleep. Bye.
Was that a real discussion? I don't think that was real. I think that was just Lola the Ghost. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy fucking discussion. Oh my god. What's a? I don't even know what a moid is. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. What time is it? Holy shit, 6:30. I gotta put this on YouTube.